Yep.
Westbox is live.
Westbox is live. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and others who may be watching.
And others.
And others. Well, yeah, you never know. Dogs, cats, you know.
I need to make a certain person happy.
That's why I'm wearing mine as well. Although, actually, no, hang on. Didn't you know? Hang on. He
Turn
wanted.
off the camera, James.
Have we turned off my camera?
No, I said, should we? After you said,
I thought
to make someone happy.
I thought he wanted backwards for 10 minutes at the start of the stream.
Hang on.
Yeah. So, yeah. I can't remember who it was that wanted that, but
it was Kate.
We're doing it. Okay. So, yes, good evening, everybody. Apologies for me missing last week, but I hope you all enjoyed the chat we had with James, Rich, and Jamie about the Ghoul Stars event that we had, or that we all went up to. Today we are doing the next in the Legion overviews, I suppose you could probably call it, and we are talking about the Night Lords.
Night Lords.
Good evening, Callum. Thank you for joining us. Hopefully this will be useful for your Heresy Kill team that you're just doing.
Just moving stuff around quickly, sorry.
Okay, cool. Yes, so first of all, should we talk about stuff that's happened over the course of the weekend, or should we talk about models of the week first?
Give me 2 seconds. I'm just going to turn these lights off because they're really glary.
Okay. What do you fancy, Will?
What has happened? I mean, apart from, you mean just the TITANICUS? What's James doing?
Just waving for a bit. Well, I was down in lovely Cardiff at the weekend.
You were, indeed.
On Sunday, at a very, very fun event run by the chaps at Tabletop Banter, Callum and Harry. Thanks for that. It was a 1750-point Centurion tournament, 3 games over the course of the day.
And it went very well, I hear.
I'm proud to say I am maintaining the reputation of the Westbox Gaming channel when we go to events that when we go places and play against people that we've not met before.
It's going to be a shocker when we go to an event and we're going to win the event.
Maybe I should go to an event.
You definitely should. You definitely should, because you'll raise the game a bit.
Yeah.
I played 3 games. I got tabled in 3 games. I scored a grand total of 6 points over the course of the day.
Oh, that's amazing.
Which was awesome. However, somehow, I'm not entirely sure why I lost all 3 games by 16 points.
I mean, that's quite impressive.
Yeah, so each one of my games was a 16-point loss.
You're consistently...
Consistently awful, yes, thank you.
Yeah.
It's all right. I'm sitting on a wooden chair at the minute because my chair broke.
Oh.
So I'm sitting on like a wooden decking chair and it's so uncomfortable.
Oh, no, Callum, absolutely fine, mate. If I scored the lowest points, I scored the lowest points. I'm happy with that. But as I said just before I left, next year I'm going to come as a loyalist so that the traitors win.
That's a good idea. I like it. I like your thinking.
3 solid victories for the traitors if I go as a loyalist. That's my plan.
Yep, I like it. Good idea.
You should play Alpha Legion.
Well, yeah. No, Alpha Legion were really good. I played the Unbroken Chain. Guy on Instagram. Check him out
Mr.
if you haven't seen him. Yeah, Chris.
Yeah, great guy.
Really, really lovely army. He was supposed to be... Even that wouldn't have bridged the margin. That probably wouldn't have made too much of a difference, unfortunately. A really, really nice Alpha Legion army. He was supposed to be playing Traitor, but he got asked to switch over to play Loyalist and ended up absolutely smashing all 3 of his games, apparently. But it was cool. It was very good fun.
Mr. Gibson and his Alpha Legion, he's a lovely chap. I've played. No, I haven't played him yet. He called me out, but we didn't play.
Yeah, because he's down your sort of neck of the woods, isn't he? He's relatively nearby, I think, from what you said.
I can't remember. I really can't remember.
I can't remember where I can't remember where he said he was either. But anyway, it was a great event, and I very much recommend going to the Tabletop Banter events if you can in the future, because they're awesome.
I wish it was just a little bit closer my way. Wales is a bit far away from me.
Yeah.
Well, they've got one.
I
think you might be right, Callum. Yeah, I think you might be right. Well, they're running one in June in Derby.
Yeah, at Dyson swords or something.
Swords and boards.
Swords and boards. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Kablam's territory. That.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I'm probably going to be going to the next one. I'm not going to the June one, unfortunately, but I'll be going to the next one that they run if I'm able to, definitely, because it was brilliant. So thank you very much, both of you, for that. That was cool. Yeah. So what do you fancy? Do you fancy model of the week, or do you fancy talking about news from Warhammer Fest?
I'm happy to hear some news about Warhammer Fest.
I think I'm excited for Warhammer Fest news.
Okay, I am going to pass the screen over to James.
Yeah.
James, you are center stage.
Also, Matt, did you like the picture I just sent?
I did, yes. Very
It's
much
amazing.
so.
Go into the well, when you get a chance. There's a picture that I just.
I saw that earlier. Yeah,
it's so good.
Yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame we didn't get tickets again this year.
Yeah, well, my friend that's part of the team is getting married, I think, so I don't think she's.
Ridiculous, outrageous.
I know. Yeah.
So I am going
Damn
to
inconsiderate.
screen share. So for those of you that are watching, here is I'm going to screen share. So at the minute, the way I've got this open, I can't actually see the chat.
Okay, that's fine. I've got it. I've got it on my screen.
Cool.
Ooh,
So
hey, that's a Titan.
that's at least 2 Titans.
this is amazing.
Yes.
So at Warhammer Fest this weekend, they announced Adeptus Titanicus is coming to us in August. And this is the Big Daddy box thing. So
yeah.
Adeptus Titanicus.
I think all 3 of us will probably be picking up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as you can see, this contains a rules box, which I'll show you in a minute. 2 Warlord Titans, 6 Knights, and some buildings, which is great. So if all 3 of us get this box, we're going to have a lot of
have a lot of stuff. Yeah.
And basically, what most people are going to use this for is they're going to use this to start their army. So like everyone does with Calf, where you don't buy it to build 2 armies, you buy it to start off your Heresy army. People are going to buy this to start off their Adeptus Titanicus Titan Legion.
Yes.
Which I need to do a lot of research on because I don't actually know any Titan Legions apart from the Mortis. I think that's about the only one I know.
That's a very good point. I don't know who I'm going to paint my Titan Legion.
So yeah, this is what I need to look into. So this box, there's been a lot of whispers going on. £100 plus. I've got a funny feeling it's going to be 150 quid.
I think that's too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they went for 100.
I mean, I know all of their box sets are very good value, but that for 100 quid is insanely good value.
Yeah, because I think the Warlords are going to be around 60, maybe £70 to buy individually.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then consider the contents of the Calf box.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah,
3 tactical squads, Terminators, Contemptor, 2 characters.
Yeah, it is very true. I could see it being. I can't see it being over 150. I would say somewhere between 100 and 150 on the lower side of that.
So while we're talking, I'm going to flick through some of the photos from. Yeah,
would be my estimate.
Not that you can see that, but yeah, why are they so small?
Bad camera.
No. There we go.
Also,
so...
you got your model of the week up.
Oh no!
Spoilers.
So here's the Imperial Knights. They are on Terminator size bases.
Yes.
So I've got a funny feeling these are going to be the size of a Primaris Marine, maybe.
No, I reckon they'll probably.
Primaris Marine is about the same size as a Terminator.
Yeah, there's not too much in it, I'd say.
These look cool.
Yeah, they might be a little bit taller.
These little missile pods and that is the big cannon off of the
Aquila strong point, isn't it?
Yeah.
Which is I actually really like. I'm glad they've done that, and I hope that they have there's rules for the Aquila strong point and stuff.
Yeah.
I know they said they're not going to, and I understand why they're keeping it focused on Titanicus, but seeing that does make me think it would be so cool if they just went all out epic and had little tanks and the little.
The
thing it's not epic scale.
No,
I think it's 8 mil as opposed to 6 mil, isn't it?
Yeah,
because
exactly.
I think the Reavers were about the size of the Imperial Knights are here.
I thought it was the Warlords were knight-sized. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, in old Epic, I think this guy here was about this size.
Yeah.
I thought Reavers were a little bit bigger than Terminators. Because Knight Paladins and Epic,
I don't know. I've never seen any Epic in the flesh, so I wouldn't know.
The old Knight Paladins were on 25mm bases.
Oh, okay.
So, but what made me laugh, right, is I saw this picture posted up in a group, and people were like, "Oh yeah, the Warlord is going to be plastic, and then the Reaver is going to be resin." And I was like, "Guys, have you not seen the picture in front of you?"
Yeah.
Like,
wait, why would the Warlord be plastic? Why would the Reaver be resin?
Exactly. And I was like, "Guys, look at the picture. Like that sprue is the sprue for this model."
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Look at it.
Do you know if they've got, well, I suppose they wouldn't be Chaos Titans in the Heresy era, would they? They'd just be painted in traitor colours.
So they're starting off with this in the Age of Darkness, so the Heresy era. Then apparently it's not strictly just going to be Heresy.
No, they said they are going to go into 40k, but there are no plans at the moment for like Eldar or Orcs, as far as I know.
Yeah, so we'll start getting the more sort of boxy Titans as well in the future, probably.
So here this gives you an idea, like the weapons options. I love that you get the Power Fist.
Yeah, although it does look a bit ridiculous. I don't like it. Yeah,
it's like a clenched fist, but if you look at the sprue,
that one looks better. The one in that picture,
yeah, it's open.
Yes,
with it closed, it looks terrible. And then you get all the different weapons for the Warlord.
They've said that they're very posable. And if you go back to the picture that was up before, there was one Reaver that had like its leg lifted. That one
at the back right.
Well, even that one as well. You can tell like it is definitely posable. But I'm kind of a bit worried that most of the models they seem to have put together are quite static.
Yeah, they're all just stood there, aren't they?
I don't know if that's just because they didn't want to mess around with them too much, but you would have thought they would have wanted to show off the full range of
you would imagine
posability.
I don't know why these are coming up so small. I'm sorry, I apologize.
So I'm looking forward to it, but I'm hoping that the models are nice and posable. That would be a shame if they were all.
I mean, so far the boxes that we've got released. I mean, these might be better pictures actually. Yeah, here we go. So this is the detail of the Reaver, and it is phenomenal. Yeah, it is. Look at the detail in it though.
Yeah,
they're going to be so much fun to paint. Actually,
yeah, they're going to be a dream to paint.
And judging by the sprues, they're very much in the vein of the current Imperial Knight, aren't they? So you can build the chassis and all that stuff.
Yeah, and paint it.
Bolt the armor on top.
And the good thing is that because they're all sort of like vehicle-ish, I will actually enjoy painting them.
I mean, I like they're releasing the scenery boxes as well.
Can you zoom that in a bit, James?
It won't let me. I don't know why.
Okay.
No, it's not. Oh, what am I doing? No.
There we go. About your eyes. That's James's personal Facebook.
Yeah. So this is the rule set. So this is just basically, as it says there, hardback rulebook, dice, templates, cards, and accessories.
Yep.
Then that's the Warlord box. So you basically, I think you get cards for the Warlord in there. You get
I saw another picture with like there's a the old Epic had like card sheets for the Titans. It looks like they've gone back to that.
Yep.
So that's
Which
quite
makes sense.
Yeah, it does. So that's quite cool.
Yeah. This is the only way I'm ever going to own a Warlord Titan. Mainly because the scenery boards as well. Like there's actually like crashed Xiphons in scale. There's crashed javelins in there. There's broken Titans. There's broken Imperial Knights. There's so much detail. No, those boards are going to be really expensive. I think they're going to be along the lines of a Zone Mortalis table, so like 400 quid for the 4.
I can see
it's going to be on a much smaller scale, though.
Yeah, I still reckon it's going to be about 300-400 quid for that table. Definitely.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm for one, am very much looking forward to this. There's going to be so much available for it, and the amount of chatter that's been going on about it and still going on about it now. It's going to be very, very popular, I feel.
Yeah, it seems like everybody's really struggling to wait till April.
Marlo,
yeah,
Marlo and Dawn from the Greetings of the Warp guys. Literally the other day they were talking about doing Adeptus Titanicus events already.
Yeah,
it's definitely something that we will have up on the channel.
Yes,
100%.
definitely. Good evening, Dante. How are you doing?
So,
all right. Most important next question then. What is going to be your Titan maniple? What's going to be your Titan army? Will.
So based on, I mean, obviously we don't know points costs and that sort of thing, but I'm not that fussed about having a warlord. The base of my army, I want it to be, obviously maybe this would be too much to bring in one game, but I want to have 3 Reavers, at least 2 Warhounds supported by a load of Imperial Knights.
Awesome.
Also, sorry, quickly, I seem to remember reading somewhere, I'm not sure if I just misread this somewhere, James, you may be able to clarify, but they did say, I did read somewhere, that's my face a lot of times, every single Imperial Knight that they have a proper full-scale model for is going to have a model.
Oh, really? All of the Cerastus?
I presume all the Cerastus. Yeah, I presume all the Cerastus Knights as well. Maybe not on release, but eventually they want all of the all of them to have. So I'm definitely going to get a couple of Porphorians as well.
Nice.
So yeah, it's going to be three Reavers. Just because I remember reading an old battle report in a White Dwarf, years and years and years ago, and it had 3 Reavers in it, and I just remember being blown away by how cool they were.
Yeah.
So
I for one, I hate the Reaver model, but I quite like the little plastic one.
I will obviously because I'm going to get the big box game, I will have some warlords.
Yeah.
But,
you're not just going to chop them up and use them as terrain?
Maybe.
See, like I'm a huge fan of the Warhound, so I'm really looking forward to running my packs of 3 Warhounds, like how they should be run.
That's annoying because I'm going to do the.
Are you going to do World Eaters?
I'm going to do the Warhound group that supported the World Eaters. Yeah.
Oh no, see,
Sigala and the Ember Queen.
Wasn't there like 50 of them?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, there were.
See, like already, like they've shown that you've got near enough all the weapons for the Imperial Knights. So we've got.
I mean, they've got a lot of weapon options. If you look at the 40k version, well, 30 or 40k,
the thermal cannon. We've seen the Gatling cannon. We've seen the battle cannon.
The volcano cannons, the plasma, Sun Fury plasma stuff.
The others will be on there.
Definitely.
It's going to be so cool. I mean, I'm looking at my Games Workshop banner that I've got here with House Cadmus on, and I think House Cadmus is going to make a return in definitely in this. It's my favorite. It's my favorite household.
Yeah.
But then there's just a household. They're not a Titan Legion. It's just a household. So
that's something for
which legions they work with.
I was going to say that's something for people to bear in mind. The Knight households were not always specifically related to a Titan Legion.
Indeed. Yes, I saw that, Callum. Sorry. Also, very glad to hear it, Dante. Glad you're doing well. Yes, Callum, I saw that. It looks amazing, and we might have to maybe buy one off you at some point in the future.
Yep. What about?
So yeah, I'm planning on doing the Warhound route.
So is it going to be mainly Warhounds with a couple of bigger Titan supports, or
probably just Warhounds?
I'm kind of hoping that you don't have to have like a Warlord as an HQ kind of thing. Yeah. You can just do whatever you want.
This is what we've got to wait and see, haven't we? Basically, we've got to see how the rules play out, how you build your Legion.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, definitely. I much prefer the idea of just a gigantic hunting pack of Warhounds going out and Ursus clawing Reavers and Warhounds and things and Warlords and things, and maybe stomping on the odd Primarch.
Yeah.
This is what I mean. Like this is like seeing that terrain table with the small javelins, the small Xiphons. They're already planning like smaller scale stuff for that. So how easy would it be? Because all they've done is 3D printed that at 20% scale. So
yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Like how cool would it be if we got like? I'm like there's endless opportunity here.
Yeah. Yeah, if they brought out a new epic, that would be absolutely amazing.
I'm just thinking about tying in the games to Heresy. You know, obviously, because
you could do that.
I love the idea of of being able to have my Armored Breakthrough Dark Angel list. Like, you know, with a can you imagine a glaive on that scale? It would be so cool to see. I would love to.
So I've just read Callum's comment. A full Imperial Knight army, is that a full infantry?
Yeah, definitely. only if you equip them with Inferno cannons, axes, and jump packs.
Yeah.
Good evening, Great Khan. It's lovely to have you here.
Yeah.
And Martin, how you doing?
If they did do, like, if they do eventually do all of the different knights, I would be tempted to just do a knight army, because I think that would be really cool, and just have like all the different types of knights.
Could you imagine if, like, sorry, I'm just like,
no, I know the same. I'm just
like,
I want them to do everything.
Like, imagine, because Mechanicum weren't around in Epic, were they?
Yeah. No.
How cool would it be to bring Mechanicum into Epic?
It would be very cool to see things. I love the idea of
hordes of Frowls.
You know what we're like, Matt, in terms of having big game. We like seeing loads of, just being able to do that and being able to fit everything on the table. You know?
Absolutely. We could actually play a 10,000 point game without having to only have half of it on the board at the beginning.
Yeah, exactly.
And like, we could use this as like the big campaign, and then we play the smaller battles.
Yep.
Like the skirmishes, we could play them using our 28mm stuff.
Yep.
I did.
And then Battlefleet Gothic as well. Oh, just put all that in.
I did have another question I was going to ask, but let's hear James's his Titan Maniple.
My Titan Maniple will be 2 Warlords.
Obviously.
Only 2?
An Imperator that I'm going to scratch.
Yeah, exactly. Will be 2 Imperators.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'd probably going to have maybe 1 or 2 Warlords. I want at least like 2 packs of Warhounds. Just even if it's just 2 pairs or something. I don't know. It depends how they work. Like, are they individual? Can you run them as a pack? Can you? This is what we've got to wait and see.
That's actually that's another good thing. Whether they'll have rules for bringing them, because didn't they hunt in pair? Like
you rarely got them individually. They were usually sent out.
In terms of an end goal for the army, I'd like to have, probably, this is just completely spitballing, what I'd like to have eventually in the army is like 2 Warlords as like the HQ choices, 3 Reavers, and then 2 Warhounds per, so 2 per Reaver as like the scouting for the Reavers, while the Warlords sat back, and that would be so good.
Yeah, I might have to make one of the Warlords the Deus Irae though. Yes,
please do.
Yes.
Well, that one of the other things that I'm really looking forward to about this Titanicus, and maybe other people won't be, but Matt and James both know that I'm not the biggest fan of painting, but in terms of writing fluff and making up stuff, it's like my favorite thing ever. So I'm already thinking of names for my Titans and backstory for them, and I'm so looking forward to being able to customize them and like really make them.
I mean, Will, if you want me to paint your Adeptus Titanicus, I will freely paint it for you.
I think because they're vehicle models, I will enjoy it a lot more. Because I do much prefer painting vehicles.
This is the thing, like looking at the sprues, the armor panels are going to be separate as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Like the knights, so they're going to be so easy to paint because you just paint the skeleton in silver, wash it, dry brush it. That's that done, and then you just do your panels, glue them, and it's done. So from a modeling perspective as well, they look like they're going to be really easily to like paint as well.
Definitely.
Sub assemblies all the time with things like that, sub assemblies, because you're going to leave plastic. And things if you build them and paint them.
Absolutely.
And then are we going to see like specific armor packs for them? So Legion, like shoulder pads
probably.
Things, like
probably because they did the upgrade kits for the knights, didn't they?
Exactly. Are we going to see this before, John? Because I take it this is a Forge World game as well. It's not.
It's a specialist game, is it?
Yeah. So
yeah, it is.
I'm literally like my brain is so close to exploding. Because Epic is a game I've always wanted to play, but I wasn't in the hobby when it was out, so I never got a chance to. Because all I hear all the time is people like saying about the games of Epic that they used to play and things like that, and I'm like, I'm really gutted that I missed out on that, and this is my chance to have that.
Yeah,
with the amazing plastic models as well, so it's going to be amazing.
So I just checked through my email. Do you remember when I applied for that writing job at Misclicks?
Oh yeah.
I had to send them an excerpt of some writing I did, and I took it from the Only War campaign.
Oh yes.
And I've just found the name of my 6 warhounds.
God.
Nice.
Yeah.
Let's have a quick look. Martin, absolutely right. Yes, definitely good not to spend £1,000 on a Titan. Although I do want a warhound. I do want a proper warhound.
That's my end goal as well. Yeah, I want a warhound.
I'm after the I'd love one day, because I think in terms of full scale, I prefer the look of the Warlord to the Reaver.
Okay.
Because the Reaver's an older model.
Yeah.
And it doesn't like the new. I'd like the new style of the Warlord. But in terms of the Titanicus, I just prefer the Reaver.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
When you're looking at the chat as well, like Callum, he said every Heresy player right now is thinking the same thing. How can I write a campaign with Zelmortalis, Battlefleet Gothic combined, then after like this,
Titanicus and normal games? Yeah, absolutely. I did one.
Yeah,
years ago now. I spent ages writing it and then threw it away because nobody played it.
Battlefleet Gothic is another game I've never played, so
if they bring that back, I would be all over that.
So I'd get a small fleet and I would use that, and we would definitely be doing campaigns 100% if they bring that back as well.
Well, Will, I think you and I should get together at some point. Well, and you, James, obviously as well. But I think it's probably because Will is the campaign writing master,
and just write something up. Yeah, definitely.
Especially from a role play perspective, because because once Wrath and Glory comes out, there's no reason why we couldn't tie all of them together. Because I mean, my old one included Inquisitor as well. It was everything from Inquisitor to Battlefleet Gothic was in this one campaign. It was absolutely mental. And if we could get something like that going, that would be fantastic.
Yeah, definitely.
There we go.
Battlefleet Gothic is coming back.
Yeah.
I think my brain's about to explode.
You heard it here first. Battlefleet Gothic is coming back.
That's amazing. Disclaimer: don't come after us if that doesn't end up being the case. We didn't say it. Check the chat. That wasn't us.
Go after Mr. May.
Yeah, definitely. But that would be absolutely awesome if that did come back. I'd love that. And Martin, I think Gary, I don't think works for a Titan. I think it's a little bit too informal.
What about the
Gary?
What about
Gary? Come over here, Gary.
What about the Acta Santorum?
You're back in the car now, Gary.
Yes, it's a little bit too formal. I think you need something like Reginald. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that works.
They confirmed on open day that it's a future project. Oh, fantastic! There we go. That's good. That's good to know.
There we go. Yeah, so it is confirmed. Battlefleet Gothic is coming back.
Because I get loads of that.
Yeah. So yeah, Adeptus Titanicus. All of us will be all over it. It's going to be amazing. I think that's going to be the talk right up until its release, and then there's going to be so much stuff going on Instagram and everything for for Adeptus Titanicus, because literally everybody.
I like Cuthbert the Titan.
Cuthbert.
Yeah, I think that's more of a warlord. I think a warlord Titan should be Cuthbert. Maybe Gary would work for like a warhound. This because they're a little bit scrappier, aren't they? They're a bit less formal, I would have said.
Yeah.
Rupert's a Reaver, obviously.
Rupert the Reaver. That's happening. That's happening.
Lord Baron Orlando. I am
Lord Baron Orlando.
Yeah, he's the Baron of House Cadmus.
Is he? Sounds like a Star Wars character.
No, he is Lord Baron Orlando. He is a god among people. Like,
Yeah, Martin, that's exactly what we're thinking. So you do if you lose the space battle, it affects the number of drops you can, or it affects the number of Titan drop ships that can reach the planet for the next game. So you're down 2 Titans or something along those lines.
If your battleships are within a certain area on the map, you could have an orbital bombardment.
Absolutely.
Every turn until they're blown up, or if they're fighting ship to ship, say to 3. So they're 2 like. I can't think of words. My mind's just gone to.
You're just so excited.
I am.
Words failing. Too excited. But no, I totally get it. But yeah, that's exactly the idea. And then you could go down to sort of the Zone Mortalis level where you've got the desperate attack on the enemy dropship to stop them from being able to deploy the Titans or stop the orbital bombardments.
Yeah,
exactly.
You could have the ship-to-ship battles. I'm going to have to build some little breaching craft.
Hell, to be honest, given the size of a Warlord Titan, you could do a Zone Mortalis game inside a Titan.
Ah,
that is an amazing idea.
Mind blown.
Yeah, you could have the desperate attack by Space Marine Joe and his little Imperial Guard buddy Fred,
trying to find the reactors,
trying to blow the reactor to stop the Titan from destroying.
That's a very good idea.
Oh, that's amazing.
127 or whatever it happens to be. We could write some epic stuff for this, I reckon.
Yes.
Yeah. So stop talking.
Okay. Yes. Okay. keep it all to ourselves so nobody steals our ideas.
Yes.
No. On that note, if anybody does want to collaborate on stuff like that,
yes.
Yeah. If anyone wants to get over. Yeah. I mean,
I'm sure we'll work with Callum and people like that.
Yeah, I think we could probably start. I mean, as you know, I love starting my groups on Facebook. So we could start something like an Adeptus Titanicus group, or a campaign group, or something along those lines.
Yep.
So anybody interested? Yeah. Oh, what's that? Funny you should say that. Harry and I spoke about putting a Warlord, or printing a Warlord, and having a wreck on the middle of an APOC table. Oh, there's an objective in there, and it's ZM board on the Warlord. Yes.
Yep. Exactly.
Great minds think alike, Callum.
Martin's in. Excellent. Callum, you're obviously a legend.
Yeah, that sounds.
If it's inside a Titan, it would need to be 1 to 2 rooms, but multi-level. Yeah, absolutely. So it would be a really cramped environment, really difficult to navigate. Obviously, you'd be massively outnumbered by the defenders and all that sort of stuff.
I have a Zone Mortalis table, and my local storage building is a Zone Mortalis table.
Yes.
There we go.
And I'll be getting a Station 111 from XLC.
From XLC. Though Jody did send me something earlier, which looks amazing. So
yes, he did. He sent that. I think he sent that to me. If it's the same one with the orc in it.
Yes.
Yes.
It looks awesome.
It does, doesn't it? It does. So yes, no, we're not allowed to give anything away for that. I don't think.
Yeah, I think we should call it there on Adeptus Titanicus.
Yeah, I agree.
There's so much to talk about.
Really is.
The kits look really well priced. The only thing I'm a bit...
Sorry, just to interrupt, Martin. Thanks very much for joining us, and I hope you have a good time at work.
Yes,
and yeah, we're all planning bankruptcy at the moment. Unfortunately, I especially am, given what turned up at work for me today.
Yeah.
But yes, let's move away from Titanicus at the moment.
I mean, the only thing I quickly want to talk about though is the building kits. I think they might be too expensive for what they're going to be. I think that's the only gripe I might have, depending on what cost they are, because you don't get a lot of stuff in there.
Sure.
What do you actually get in the? Because I haven't actually seen
2 building equivalents. But what I might do is I might talk to Mr. Kablams. I don't know if anyone saw what he posted up the other day, which looked amazing, and he's already cut in some starring buildings for Adeptus Titanicus. So
of course he is.
I might have to talk to him.
I'm surprised he hasn't made his own Adeptus Titanicus scale Titans out of plastic yet.
Don't tell him that. So I'll see you later, Martin. Dixie. Why do I call you Martin? I never call you by your name. What am I about? God, I've known Martin for a good.
It's probably because I've been calling him Martin for the whole time.
I've probably known him almost 20 years.
Oh, we've done so much Project X. Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, I'm cancelling the World Eaters just to pay for Adeptus Titanicus.
Well, that's all right. I'll take on both of your projects. Sort them all out.
Yeah. Saying that, like,
sounds about right.
Hobby progress this week. I have a cow box. So I haven't really touched anything this week, hobby wise.
No, I don't
think any of us have actually done
move, but I've completely just been procrastinating all week. I've done nothing, but I need to get started.
Did you still need help?
If you're around, mate, you're more than welcome. Yeah, definitely.
It's not this weekend; it's next weekend.
Next weekend, 26th.
Yeah. So I should especially be around now.
Titanicus. Oh,
amazing. Sorry. I wanted to ask one last thing.
Yes.
It's not specifically related to Adeptus Mechanicus, but it kind of is. If they did other factions like Orcs, Eldar, whatever, would you still do Imperium, or would you like to see new kits for other armies as well?
I'd like to see new kits. I'd like to see what they do with them.
Yep.
But I probably wouldn't play them.
Yeah, I think I'm probably the same.
I would probably stick with the Imperial Titans, but make them a bit spiky.
Mm-hmm.
Probably, because I'm a filthy heretic.
Yep.
Yeah, that's probably what I would do. But yes, it would be very interesting to see what they did with
a Taunar. Would be pretty cool.
Yeah, that would be quite cool. Yeah, interesting to see what they do with Eldar Titans and Gargants and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And equally interesting, if they do bring it more towards 40k, whether the rules for the Imperial Titans would change based on whether it was 30 or 40k.
That's true. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if they are. I mean, obviously they do because it's different 7th and 8th editions.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how different they are.
No.
But okay, right. Titanicus done. I'm going to make your lovely face, Will, into the main screen. Would you like to share with us your Forge World model of the week?
How do I do that?
A little jingle.
Just quickly, shall we say we're not going to mention any Forge World new releases because there isn't any.
Yes.
It's just basically carrying on from what was last week. So the Dreadnought deal. That's pretty much it.
Although I do feel like, sorry, I'm going to take you off full screen for a sec. Well, I do feel like maybe we need to show a picture of a certain set of Praetors that were shown at the.
Yes.
I don't have it, but yeah, I know what you mean. I'm going to be getting them, but yeah.
Do I have it somewhere? I'm sure I've got it somewhere.
It's probably in the chat.
Yeah, I definitely sent it in the chat, but I'm going to.
Do you know what? I'm actually getting so much hatred in my head right now. Just looking at this Night Lords dude. The hatred inside me right now is so strong.
Well, I hope
can't stand
that's not going to affect when my Project X. That's a terrible picture. Let me find the one that I posted in our group.
Well, I feel that my Alpha and your Project X will work together really well.
They will do, yeah. They will.
Just quickly, while Matt's doing that, my new Scale 75 paints have arrived. So, yeah, I'm going for a non-metallic Alpha Legion, which is going to look great.
Ooh,
that will be very cool, actually.
It's going to be cool.
Yeah. So, I'm looking forward to doing the Alpha Legion. I was going to do World Eaters, but I've got so much Alpha Legion stuff already. I've got 2 Dreadnoughts, I've got Dynat, I've got the transfer sheets and everything else. So all I've added to that is a Calf box. So that's my Zomortalis army sorted out. And then eventually I want to add some Javelins and Jet Bikes and like normal land speeders, which I've got sitting on the shelf behind me.
Right, I'm going to share my screen quickly. Because this is the other gorgeousness that came out of Warhammer Fest.
Looks so good.
Matt's wearing his new hat. Yeah.
I'm wearing a new hat, yes. Yes, thank you.
They do look so good.
Show my allegiance.
Right, I'm going to have to get a WBG hat made up.
Yeah, I think we do. Yeah. The biggest issue is Arthur and I were talking about the potential for getting hats made when we've first got the t-shirts printed. Yeah. And we really wanted to make the Imperium great again on the back with a big WBG. And then I saw bloody Strump's hat at Ghoul Stars and he's got one already.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Mr. Strump. Slayer of engines.
Yeah. Whackmonger extraordinaire from what I've heard. But anyway, yes, we've got 2 Alpha Legion Praetors. We've got Cataphractii Terminator armor by the look of it, and we've got 1 in Artificer armor.
So the Artificer one I'm not too convinced on because it just looks like a remodel of one of the other Praetors. It's okay.
The Alpha Legion. I prefer the Alpha Legion. I prefer the Power Armor one.
Yeah, I prefer that. I think they're both I think they're both amazing, but I prefer the Artificer armor one.
I'm a sucker for Cataphractii, so I quite like.
I love me some Cataphractii armor, but the problem is this arm is the same on every single Praetor ever released. Yes. All Terminator Praetors have an arm out shooting.
This is very true. They do.
And I don't think they should.
In fact, it comes with Volkite.
Yeah, again, I'm not convinced by that.
So, Forge World, we really need you to release some combi Volkites, please.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I need to put them on my vets.
Yeah. Right. I am no longer...
So yeah, those 2 models are amazing. I'm really looking forward to them. Alfarius, there's so many people painting Alfarius at the minute.
Yeah, it seems like everybody is.
I mean, to be fair, it's a fantastic model.
Yeah,
it is. Yeah, it is
one of the best models.
And also the Lamentum Terminators, is that what they're called?
Lernian
Terminators. They look phenomenal as well, but they're so crap. Like, you're better off taking normal Cataphractii.
Yeah.
So,
oh really?
Yeah.
Yeah, they've got power axes and Volkites. Like, you want chain fists and
a conversion beamer.
The conversion beamer actually looks really good.
It does, but it's completely pointless.
Yeah, because they're a close combat.
Yeah, exactly. Close combat unit with something that's supposed to be sat at the back and not moving. But let's move on, shall we? William.
Oh yeah.
Are you ready to share your screen?
Yes, I think.
Yeah, like our Gorgon Terminators, Callum. They're
they're not crap. They probably have their place, but they're not the most efficient of uses.
Ooh. Yeah. So I wanted one. I wanted one of these for a long time.
Oh, the Ordinators.
There was one of those at All Stars.
Yeah. Really? Was it this one or was it
that one? Yeah, that one.
I prefer this one. I mean, I think the Ulanor is better. Well, it was better. I don't know if it's still the same from a rules perspective, but I just love the big volcano cannon on this one.
Yeah, exactly.
I just think it looks amazing, and I never got around to buying one.
It's a big model.
There is still time.
I think the one at All Stars suffered from the deployment maps that we had because people were on top of it straight away.
Yeah,
so, I think that's the thing. It's very much, especially the other one.
Do you want to know the worst thing? Is in a 12-inch deployment, you have to deploy it sideways.
Yes, exactly, because it's so long, you can't...
I almost had to do that with the Mastodon, but the Mastodon is exactly 12 inches long. So I have to put it on the back end.
Yeah.
So no, I would very much like one. But
£300, it's rather pricey.
And to be honest, like I couldn't bring it with anything anyway.
No, that's true. You'd need a full AdMech army for it.
Yeah, so there's not really any point. But I love how it looks. I just love that it's a big gun on tracks.
Yes, very much so.
Cool. So yeah, that's my model of the week.
Awesome, good choice. James, I'm going to make your face into the full screen.
Well, people probably have already seen mine. So, this is...
But for those that weren't paying attention a little while earlier.
Yeah. Oh, can I very quickly share my screen again after James?
Oh, you can. You can do it now.
Yeah? You sure?
Yeah. Will's face again.
I need to screen share.
You lucky folk, you've got Will's face.
So this is let me bring that up so you can see what.
Oh, yes.
This is what I sent, like my sample writing that I sent across. I have the actual story part is below, and I'm gonna save that, but I might show it to.
Sorry,
James.
Did you create a fake?
Yeah, I created the situation for the curator and also for the Inquisitor.
Nice.
Oh, it's so
nice.
Good.
I like it. We need to do a 40k roleplay again at some point.
We really do.
Once Wrath and Glory comes out, hopefully we'll be able to get that done.
Yeah,
that'll be cool.
Exactly. I even put at the beginning of all of the books they have the.
Yeah. I like it. That is so awesome.
Yes. Anyway, that's enough of my screen share.
Yeah, good stuff. James, take it away, James.
Hello.
You are full screen.
So this is my model of the week.
That is a good choice too. I like it.
Like if they brought this out when I still had my solar, I wouldn't have sold them. But yeah, because it's a lot cheaper than Cosian. It's amazing, and the fact that they brought out a mini Predator version of it at Warhammer Fest.
Yes.
It's going to be amazing. So basically, this has got 3 multi-lasers on it. 1 twin links, 2 normal.
So the new one.
Be
awesome.
awesome.
Find the name of it.
New one.
I'll see
Yeah.
it.
I've got a funny feeling you might be able to put las cannons on it as well, which would be awesome. Okay, my scan has complete, so it should be a lot faster now. Yeah.
Where is it?
But I'm really looking forward to. I want to see one of these in person, just to see how big they are. But I think they look awesome. They really do.
My word!
What?
I'm looking for that tank that was previewed at Warhammer World, and I've just seen somebody that's made a KV2 out of a Chimera.
Nice.
So yeah, so I'm gonna stop screen sharing.
Okie dokie, I'll take you off full screen. That was Will's face again.
It takes me a while to come back, so I'm back.
I can't find any pictures of this tank because I can't remember what it was called. Is the problem?
No. It's basically
it's on
one of
Instagram
those
somewhere.
Yeah, it's one of those. It's got a twin-linked multi-laser on top, and then it's got 2 multi-laser sponsons as well.
I have a feeling it was the Carnodon.
Yeah.
Yes, found it. It is the Carnodon tank. It's las cannons, not multi-lasers.
Is it las cannons?
Yeah.
I think you can take multi-lasers as well. So what this brings is it brings the much-needed firepower punch that the Solar Auxilia.
Yeah, I'm going to share my screen while you keep talking about it because I'll show off.
Or militia.
Look
basically,
at that.
Yeah. So
it does look cool.
It looks like something out of, like, I don't know. It looks orcish almost.
Yeah, a little bit. It's steampunk First World War.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's cool.
So I really like it. I really do like it. I'd love to see some people do like a Rhino conversion with this as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which I think would be quite cool.
That'd make a great Razorback turret. Depending on the size, obviously. Depending on the size, that'd make a great Razorback turret.
Yeah. Or even use that turret on the Proteus for the las cannons.
Ooh.
Yep.
That is a good idea.
So if you buy the normal Proteus like I did and bought the wrong one, then using that as the turret for the that sounds cool.
That is a good idea. Right, so model of the week. Drum roll, please. Ba-bam.
Ooh.
Oh, I chose one of these last week. Not this one, but the other version.
Did you?
I chose the Vulcan one.
Oh, balls. You did, didn't you?
Yeah, but don't worry, because I love seeing these.
They are very cool.
So, I don't know. It's just brilliant. I love it.
Do you know what I really think we should do?
I mean, look at the size comparison to a Lehman Russ as well.
Yeah,
it's just massive and cool.
Rather than do the Blood Angels kind of West Berks army, I think we should do a Death Call Krieg army.
And use it as militia?
Yes.
In Heresy. Well, funnily enough, my Project Z, X, Y, whatever it happens to be named on whatever day I'm talking about it, I was tempted to do the sacrificial offering rite of war.
Nice.
Where you bring an allied detachment of militia with your Astartes, and the militia start on the table, and then the Astartes come in and save them, essentially.
That's what I was thinking. This is the only thing. You can't use these tanks in Heresy.
Really? They're Heresy era, aren't they?
I thought you could. Can you not?
You can. I don't know.
I thought you could.
Is it? It might be the Malkador then that you can use.
I thought they were both Heresy era.
Yeah, so did I. I mean, the Malkador's quite cool. I think I like the battle cannon one rather than any of the other ones. But
the
Macarius is much better. It was much cooler.
The Macarius is amazing,
but that's still quite a cool looking tank. But yeah, we'll have to check that. I'll have to check that and see if we can use them.
Can I
stop sharing?
Can I just go completely off topic and say, although it's not my model of the week because it's not a Forge World one, but I do actually have a new favorite model ever.
Okay, Callum's just made me cry.
Yeah, I knew. I wouldn't.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
The only one you can use is the transport.
The Gorgon.
No, it's not the Gorgon. The Crassus.
The Crassus.
Oh, yeah.
Crassus one.
Yeah.
That's the only one you can use, I think.
Yeah. Do you need a full screen, Will?
No. I was just going to say, if people haven't seen it, the new black coach for Age of Sigmar is the nicest model in the history of models ever. Yeah. It's so good. It's so good. But yeah, that's just a random aside. completely not related to 30k or 40k or.
So,
well, to be honest, all the new Nighthawk stuff is really cool. But...
We are almost 50 minutes in, and we haven't even started talking about Night Lords.
We have not. So, Legion of Astartes.
Yeah. Crusade Army List Appendix.
Do they all have really deep voices like Bale Batman?
No, only Korax.
Only Korax. Okay.
Only Korax has that
Korax
voice.
talks like a little bitch. Can you feel the hatred in my voice?
Yeah, I really can. I'm starting to regret my choice of Project Z.
So,
to be honest,
Crusade Army List Appendix, Legion number 6.
No, Legion number. Oh no, they're the 8th Legion.
Why is it 6? It says
no, it's
6
just
in the book.
appendix. It's appendix number 6.
Oh,
they are
the 8th Legion. However,
they are indeed.
For example, the Imperial
Lords.
Fists are appendix number 11, and they're the 7th Legion. So ignore all that.
The Night Lord's battle cry is "We have come for you."
It is, yeah. Apparently, yeah.
No, it's not. It's Night Lords.
They're really stealthy. They just run down the street like that.
Yeah, yeah.
So, shall I read the little blurb? How I butcher it every time.
Yeah. So this is why people come to the stream, James.
To hear me struggle to read. So, even before the Ispan 5 drop site massacre, the Night Lords Legion were renegade in all but name, having entirely devoted themselves to the arts of terror and murder. The Legion's Primarch, Conrad Kurz, is the master of the unheralded strike from the least anticipated quarter, an attack of such brutality and wanton
destruction.
A wonton is a Chinese like bun thing. I think, or some kind of Chinese delicacy. At wonton destruction, he was a big fan at his local all-you-can buffet.
And they closed it down, which is why he got so angry.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Entirely planetary populations were brought to their knees as in abject surrender. Never given to mercy, few who oppose the Night Lords ever live to tell the tale, unless they are allowed to by design to escape in order to sow the seeds of dread still further. Given the dark... what's that little bird thing where it's like dan dan dan? Given the dark demeanor of the Legion, it takes an equally ruthless leader to reign its propensity for atrocity, at least until such a time is called for.
Yes.
Yeah, as always, I love butchering that.
Yes, awesome. Crazy, psychotic, bloodthirsty murderers.
Batman.
I like it. Batman. But yeah, very bloodthirsty, very given to slaughter and murder and terror and stuff, but not on the same levels as World Eaters or anything along those lines.
People used to watch Are You Afraid of the Dark? This is what used to be in there.
This is what was under that trapdoor.
Yeah, is. I'm showing my age now. Like, Are You Afraid of the Dark? Swinging. Like,
yep. Definitely.
And then Conrad Cruz just goes, "Hello, I'm Batman."
Interesting piece of trivia for those that don't know it. I'm sure most fans of Heresy probably do. Conrad Kurtz, named for Marlon Brando's character in Apocalypse Now, Colonel Kurtz,
he is,
based on a character from the book Heart of Darkness.
Indeed.
Which is a very good book. If nobody's read it, it's definitely worth a read.
Yes.
I'm not a big fan of Apocalypse Now, though, so I wouldn't necessarily recommend that.
I actually am not a big fan of Apocalypse Now as well.
I like it.
Incredibly overrated.
I believe, I think you're right. It's got some very good bits, but the vast majority of it is just Martin Sheen going, like this under a fan.
Yeah. If there was some, Night Lord Space Marines in it, it may be a bit better.
So, if you want to see a better version of Apocalypse Now, you need to watch Tropic Thunder.
Yes.
Yes.
So, right, all models and units of this special rule are subject to the following provisions. Legionnaires Astartes, as always, every single Legion has this rule. Units with this special rule may always attempt to regroup at their normal leadership value, regardless of casualty.
Sorry, I've just seen
my god!
Oh my god!
You know what? Now we'll do it. I want to do like the Team America, like Secret Signal. Like,
yeah.
again!
Definitely. Team Reach Around
yeah.
is reunited. Just missing Jamie.
So Legionnaires of Astartes, they get to regroup at their normal leadership value, no matter what.
So when there's one guy left, they can still regroup on.
There's still 10 guys there, even if there's one guy. So, a talent for murder. If a unit or units of models with the Legionnaires of Astartes Night Lord special rule outnumber one or more enemy infantry units during the initiative step in which they fight in an assault.
During any initiative step. Yeah. Very important.
Yeah. And they gain +1 to hit and to wound.
Yes.
Bulky models count as 2 models, and very bulky models count as 3 models for the purposes of working out when the Night Lords outnumber their victims.
Yes. So this is very important that it's any initiative step. Because if you've got Kurtz and a Praetor and an assault squad, for example, in a unit, Kurtz, and they all outnumber them at each of those initiative steps. So Kurtz at initiative 7 or whatever he happens to be, he's got +1 to hit and wound. Then the Praetor would also have +1 to hit and wound, and then the assault squad would also have +1 to hit and wound. And then any power fists that you may have at initiative 1 would then theoretically also get +1 to hit and wound.
Yeah,
which is just crazy.
It's a crazy good buff.
It is.
It does mean you have to take big squads though.
Yes, or lots of assault marines, terminators, or things like Castellax and Vorax.
Yeah.
Oh, Callum, you're ruining my dreams.
This is very true. He does not.
Callum, you're absolutely right though. I forgot about that.
Not that he needs +1 to hit.
No, but no. Okay, so he wouldn't get the bonus, but he would pass the bonus on to the Praetor, and then it would get passed on to the assault marines.
Actually, would he? If he was part of a squad,
yes.
So say it was a 10-man tactical squad,
yes,
against a 11-man enemy tactical squad, and Kurtz was with the 10-man Night Lord squad, would they technically outnumber them? Because it is only units that have the Legions of Astartes rule that.
If a unit or units of models with the no, you're right.
So Kurtz doesn't add the extra 3 for being 2 or for being.
No, he doesn't. No.
But he's still nice to have in a unit because he's
pretty cool anyway. +1 to hit and to wound. That's almost as good as like the Blood Angels one, where you get basically +1 to wound. I think it is.
Yeah,
you always wound on 1 better than what you normally roll. So
I think it's one of the best. I mean, it's situational because it's not all the time, obviously, but I think it's one of the strongest ones if you can get it into play. +1 to hit and +1 to wound is
Wait, the other thing, don't forget bikers are bulky.
Yep, exactly.
I know it doesn't work.
Very bulky, I would imagine.
Mr. May's comment, because he's not infantry, he's bikes. It doesn't work.
That was especially against me. From that, I wasn't.
Oh,
yeah. So it only works against infantry.
That is a very good point as well.
So yeah, cool.
Yeah, no, I like it.
So it's situational, but it's a huge buff when you do get it off. Because
I mean, if you go up against Solar, for example, it means you're hitting and wounding on 2s.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which is pretty sweet. Marines, you're hitting and wounding on 3s with just normal guys, which is obviously considerably better than normal hitting on 4s and stuff.
So like tactical squads with like extra close combat weapons actually benefit majorly with this.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's really cool.
What if you got a tactical marine and you modelled it with like loads of knives and guns on it, so it looked really bulky? Would it then count as bulky?
So it'd be like Jason Statham and expensive.
Nice.
If you model every Night Lord as Jason Statham, then I will let you count them as bulky every time we play.
Yeah. So was it
Nostraman blood?
All models with this special rule fall back +1 inch further than normal. If they fail a pinning test, they may, if the controlling player wishes, fall back instead of becoming pinned, just as if they had failed a morale check for taking casualties in the shooting phase.
Yeah, I quite like this rule actually.
So you fall back an extra inch.
Yep. Yeah, if you're in the mid ground and you don't want to get pinned, it's
Yeah.
So that's also cool for sweeping advances as well.
If you're about to get charged by something and something's pinning you in place, you can just say no, stop that, I'm out of it.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, that's cool.
Sorry, James, what was your question?
I was going to say, like, if sweeping advances, does that count as well?
No. It's just falling back.
You're falling back.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Right. So night vision. All models in a Night Lord's primary detachment, not just those with Legion as a start, these Night Lord special rule, have the night vision special rule. So your entire army has night vision.
Yes.
So basically, your Tau in power armor.
Yes.
Yeah. Although night vision isn't as amazing as it was.
No, trust me, it is. Because when I played Night Lords at Gallstars...
No, but it used to be a lot better because there used to be the range limitation as well.
True.
Which you ignore. Because remember when we had... Do you remember when we had the game of my Marines against you and Alex with the Eldar?
Yeah.
And you set up everything 37 inches away.
Yeah, because we're really nice like that.
Yeah.
So I played against Night Lords at Gallstars, and we had night fighting for 4 turns.
Yeah.
It's still a nice
it gets cover saves at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And it means your dreadnoughts, your land raiders, your quad mortars, all your marines, everybody can.
I like the fact that it is all models, so it does benefit to the the dreadnoughts, everything.
Sorry, I should specify they don't ignore cover; they ignore the cover. They ignore the cover granted by night fighting.
Yeah. So,
which is very cool.
Cool. So from the shadows, all models with this special rule have a cover save of 5+ on the first game turn, even in open ground. This rule can be combined with the effects of stealth, etc., as normal, but other forms of cover the model might be in which provide a higher save supersede it. So if you're behind an Aegis defense line, your Aegis defense line gives you a 4+, not 5+.
So it doesn't stack with this.
No. It
night fighting does if you're in open ground.
I was going to say, it means if you've got night fighting, the enemy gets no benefits, and your models all get a 4+ cover save.
So if you're behind an Aegis, you're not in open ground.
Yes. Well, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it basically means essentially on the first turn, if you've got night fighting, got a 4+ invulnerable save. On all your models, which is huge.
Yeah. And because it doesn't specify they have to be infantry or not, that applies to bikes, that applies to
tanks.
Well, I don't know if they would have the From the Shadows rule.
Oh,
I mean, they might do. I'm not sure, but they would certainly
maybe not. Yeah,
we'd have to check.
They probably don't. It's probably just infantry and.
Well, interestingly, the characters don't have that rule, so I would assume it applies to all Night Lords in a similar manner to the other one.
All models with this special rule from the shadows.
Yeah, Kerr's on turn 1 gets.
He's got a different. Yeah, he's got a different thing anyway. So
stealth and shrouded.
Yeah.
So him and his little chrome, I've just seen it there because I had that happen to me. So for the first 3 turns, Kerr's and his little group had a 2+ cover save.
Yeah.
Which was really it really hurt me quite a bit.
Yeah, Sevatar doesn't have it. So
no, I think it's
the next rule is actually a boon for the army, which
yes, it is.
So Seeds of Descent, Descent. If an army's warlord is slain, each unit in the army with this special rule must take an immediate morale check as if they had suffered 25% losses from shooting. So your entire army could be turning tail and running if you lose your warlord. Sounds like Soda Auxiliary.
Little bit, yeah. Little bit. I like it though. I think it's.
Yeah, for all the bonuses they get to cover and everything else, I think that's a good boon to have. I mean, everybody has something that isn't good along to balance out the good. Yeah. So
Dark Angels don't.
Apart from giving up all of the victory points, even if they win.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like Alpha Legion. Alpha Legion. If I lose more models than you, then I give up a victory point.
Yeah, it's like what the Dark Angels do as well.
A whole victory point.
Yeah. So if you kill more models of my army than I do or units, then you get an extra victory point at the end of the game, which is kind of a pain in the ass. And also, if I run the Headhunter Leviathan, then I know we're going to do Alpha Legion later on, but Headhunter Leviathan is if I don't kill your warlord, then I lose the game, basically. Yeah,
and combine that with the Delegatus, and if he dies, you give up extra victory points as well. You could potentially lose the game, even if you win the game, if you know what I mean.
Lose the game,
yeah. So I actually really like the Night Lords rules overall. I mean, they're not spectacular. Talent for Murder is really good. but it's quite situational.
I think they're moderately strong. They're definitely in the top half of
I would have said so.
Legion rules.
I would have said so. Especially when you combine them with some of the other bits and pieces that they can get, and some of their special
rights and stuff.
So if we move on to the war gear that you can get specifically for the Legion
units. So Legion specific units. In addition to those found in the Crusade army list, the Night Lord's Legion has particular access to additional unit types. Terror squads, which are an elite choice for the force. Night Raptors, which are a fast attacks choice. So we'll go on to them in a minute. Night Lord's Legion has access to the following items of special war gear. The Matt, you'll have to say
Nostroman Chainglaive,
which I think is rather good.
It is quite good, yeah.
And it looks
+1 strength.
Well, the models you can get for it.
Oh, sorry, yeah. So any character or independent character with Legion as a start is Night Lord special. Eligible to take a power weapon as part of their options may instead take the Chainglaive for the same listed cost.
Yeah, so it's 5 points, basically, generally.
+1 strength, AP3, melee, two-handed, and rending. So stick this on a Praetor. No, to be honest, take Paragon Blade over this. No, yeah. Paragon Blade over this.
Everybody takes Paragon Blades.
Paragon Blades if you want to be different, or if you're trying to say what Paragon Blades at 25 points.
Yeah.
If you want to if you're desperate to shave some points off somewhere, I mean, I would on my point chart if I was doing an army and I wasn't just trying to be different and interesting. I would say you're probably right, James. The Paragon Blade is probably technically better, but the Chainglaive's cool and it's fairly good.
Yeah. 7 attacks at strength 5, AP3 with rending. And then if you're a Praetor, you can mastercraft it.
How do you get 7 attacks?
4 base. You'd be 6 because it's two-handed.
Yeah, only Alpha Legion gets 7.
No.
Power daggers.
No, 4 attacks. 1 for the charge. 1 for 2 close combat weapons. 1 for.
Oh, yeah, no, this is two-handed though.
Yeah, so it would be 6. So an Alpha Legion Praetor, if they could take a Nostroman Chainglaive, would still only get 6 as well, because Power Dagger is just a specialist weapon.
Yeah, so that's why I take Paragon Blade and Power Dagger.
Still 6 attacks, especially if you've got Talent for Murder.
Yeah, 6 attacks hitting on 2, winding on 2s.
2s probably, yeah.
Good evening, Cake.
Hey, from Butlins. Hey,
nice.
Is it a lad's holiday or is it a family holiday?
Or is it a combination of the two? Who knows?
Or is it an adult holiday at Butlins? Because Butlins do those as well.
Yeah, so Nostroman Chainglaives. So give them to your assault squad sergeants.
I was going to say give them to sergeants in squads.
No, it says independent characters. I don't any character. I'd give that to my sergeant rather than a power weapon.
Yeah, I would.
Definitely.
Yeah.
For 5 points, yeah, I'd definitely go with that. That's pretty good. I like that. So teleportation transponder.
Hang on. Sorry, just very quickly. I need to just refer to a comment. The wording for the Chainglaive means that the chaplain gets the option for a free power weapon. That is true. However, if a model comes with a power weapon, like a Terminator Sergeant, for example, can he then change it for an Nostroman Chainglaive?
Yeah, he should be able to.
But he hasn't. Well, yeah, I suppose, but it's
I see what you mean, because you're referring to the
eligible to take a power weapon as part of
their options. If it's not in their options list, then you may run into trouble. If they just come with it stock, it's not part of their options.
No, that's what I was thinking.
The rules is written, no, but I would let someone do it.
Yeah, I was going to say, it depends who you're playing with, and I would most certainly not let you do it.
No, of course you wouldn't.
No.
Good, because I've got a plan for a Terminator squad.
Yeah.
They might be flying in something.
Storm Eagles.
No.
Just.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Just falling in out of the sky.
Not a.
Thought we haven't had them in ages.
No, I know. I'm really disappointed. I really want to try and find one somewhere.
Keep saying something, and I've got no idea what you're talking about.
Think. Was it ancient Greece or ancient Rome? It's like a glove with blades on it. Monks use them in Diablo 2. as did assassins.
Ramming speed.
Yeah, ramming speed, definitely.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'll take this off in a minute. It's hurting my head.
I gotcha.
That's a Cestus assault ram for anybody that hasn't picked them.
Yeah.
So I was playing on 9 Terminators with a chaplain in a Cestus assault ram.
Yeah.
Or possibly Sevatar, maybe.
He is waiting.
Next. Sorry, James. Next.
Sorry. Yeah. Teleportation transponders.
Yes.
No, I'm trying to get this up before we finish. So, so basically, any Night Lords, Legion Terminator Squad, or Night Lords Legion Command Squad equipped with Terminator armor may be upgraded to have the Deep Strike rule for 15 points for the squad. Any Night Lords independent character in Terminator armor may be upgraded to have the Deep Strike for 10 points per model.
Mm-hmm.
This is cool because only these guys, Blood Angels and
Nope. There are two legions that allow you to Deep Strike Legion Terminators without special characters.
And this.
Yeah, without special characters or specific rights of war.
Yep.
Night Lords and Imperial Fists. It's very cool. I like it.
Yep.
Yeah, it is cool.
It is.
So, Trophies of Judgment. Any independent character can adorn themselves with Trophies of Judgment for 5 points, gaining the Fear special rule. So basically, they take skulls and limbs and things like that.
Oh, is that? Oh, I might have bought the wrong bits then for my conversions.
Why?
Well, I was going for little white ringed wigs and scales and like,
so
robes.
Scouts. Yeah.
Or is it not that type of judgment?
No, wrong type.
I'm just thinking.
Damn.
Yeah, sorry, you'll have to get them changed.
Yeah.
Such a shame.
Okay, cool. Interesting point on the wording.
Yes.
With the eligible to and then has the option to. I like that. Thank you very much. Good point. Trophies of Judgment. Fear for 5 points.
Yeah,
I'm going to say.
If I had like 5 points left over and I had nothing, like everything had motor bombs or anything, yeah, I'd be like, well, I guess I might as well. But
yeah, this comes back to like gold causing fear. I always forget it because it's crap.
Yeah.
Well, it is, but potentially it's not.
I was going to say the one time didn't fear go off in the Zone Mortalis game that we played when we came down to see you, James? I seem to remember, like, we were all shocked because
somebody actually caused fear. Yeah,
someone failed a fear test.
Yeah, it can be really good, but I don't think. Yeah, 5 points is reasonable. I think I would have said.
Yeah, I mean, it's not. It's certainly not too expensive for fear, but are you ever really going to take it when you can spend?
It's only really matters when you're playing like solar auxiliary and things like that.
Solar auxiliary are generally leadership 10 across the board, so it won't come into play very much there. I would say it'd be more likely to come into effect against Marines, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because they're generally leadership 9. If you've killed the sergeant, they're leadership 8.
Yeah, that's right.
There's only a couple of legions that are actually immune to fear.
Yeah.
But
yeah, weapons skill 1 and outnumber them. Yeah, I suppose it does.
Yep. If you can get it to work, it's fantastic. But it's also interestingly only independent characters that can take it without specific rights of war, because it will be an interesting thing to have on sergeants.
Yeah. Yeah.
In their second right of war, which is Raptor Assault, I think, or Raptor something or other. I think everyone can take them, but they're more expensive. So you could have an entire army of fear-causing infantry, but it's obviously that little bit more expensive.
Yeah.
But then if you go up against Salamanders or Death Guard, you're screwed. You've just wasted a shed load of points.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking. Because aren't they?
Yeah. So the first of their rights of war is called Terror Assault.
It's really good.
The infamous speciality of the Night Lord's Legion was the Terror Assault, often conducted under the conditions of complete darkness, because they're Batman, whether natural or artificially induced. Such attacks were not just designed to overwhelm their foe, but to sow as much gut-wrenching terror in both its victims and any who were left to survive to tell the tale, as to shroud the whole world, whole worlds in a pall of fear. Which just sounds wicked, doesn't it? It sounds so cool. Yeah, you're Dark Angels. Of course, you don't like Night Lords.
Sounds okay.
So the effects of the Rite of War, we have Cover of Darkness. The Force may impose night fighting for the duration of the first game turn on any mission on a D6 roll of 2+. Night fighting imposed in this manner carries on to the second game turn on a roll of a 4+, and the third turn on a roll of a 6+.
Yes.
While this special night fighting condition is in effect, all models with the Legion Astartes Night Lords rule gain +1 initiative and +1 to their run distances.
Yep.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to get it. You know, obviously, you're pretty much guaranteed to get it first turn. Second turn, maybe, but it's unlikely to last turn to turn 3. But hopefully by that point, if you've taken advantage of turn 1 and 2 night fighting, well, you're probably in combat, or you'll get 1 turn of the +1 initiative benefit.
Yeah,
which is good.
Yep, I like that. Terror Tactics is the second of the effects. Night Lord's terror squads must be taken as compulsory troop choices for a force using this Rite of War, and may be taken as additional troops choices if desired. So this is the Legion-specific elite choice for the Night Lords. Interestingly, it doesn't restrict them from being elite choices.
No.
So you could take 9 terror squads.
And they are good.
They are all right, actually. Yeah, we'll come on to them in a second. They are all right.
I think that bonus is good, but made a lot better because of the next rule of the Rite of War.
Yes. Well, interestingly,
I think if it didn't have that,
it actually doesn't make that much of a difference because of the dedicated transport options for the terror squads.
Yeah.
But so the third effect is Claw Assault. Legion tactical squads, veteran squads, and terror squads may take either a Dreadclaw drop pod or a Legion drop pod as a dedicated transport, so long as their number does not exceed the vehicle's transport capacity and they begin the game held in reserve inside their transport. Yes. Now, that is brilliant because drop pods are always awesome. However, you're limited to 10-man squads. So you're not going to be outnumbering anybody. So Talent for Murder is not going to be useful.
Yes. But that's only comes into effect with the tactical squads, because terror squads are only 10 men anyway.
Yeah, no, that is true. That is true.
But yeah, it does mean for your tactical squads, Talent for Murder is. But I guess that kind of pushes you into.
Why would you take a tactical squad when you can take a terror squad?
Yeah, exactly. and it pushes you to doing the bigger, bulky squads of jump pack marines, which is, I think, what Talent for Murder wants you to do anyway.
Yes, I think you're probably right.
Sorry, so I'm still here. I've just spilt paint everywhere. So no,
that's all right. No, that's why I took over. As well, doing some stuff off screen. So there are some limitations to the right.
Yep.
Which are kind of bad.
One of them is
that makes sense.
Quite bad, I think.
Yeah. So detachments using this Rite of War must take an additional compulsory troops choice in addition to the usual. So that usually required on their force organization chart.
That's pretty standard.
You're taking 3 terror squads.
Which again, you can make them pricey, but they're not super expensive. So if you want to go cheap and cheerful, I mean, if you want to make terror squads expensive, you can make them fairly pricey.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
But
we'll come on to them in a sec.
I mean, the extra compulsory troops, that's pretty standard across a lot of the Rites of War. So
yeah,
it's not a huge thing. It's just it gives you an extra scoring unit.
Exactly.
True.
It's not a huge. If you want to make just a cheap, I mean, if you really wanted to do it, you could just take a cheap tactical squad and just give them nothing. If you were really trying to save points,
we can't because terror squads must be.
Oh, they're the compulsory. So yeah. Well, a cheap terror squad. How much is a normal?
125 for 5 guys.
It's not too bad.
It's the same price as a 10-man tactical squad.
Yeah.
So we'll skip the next one, and we'll go on to the big one last because it's going to be something to talk about. So detachments using this Rite of War may only take a single consul as part of their HQ choice. That's not so bad. You can take a chaplain, or you can take a company champion, or one Primus Medicae, or something like that. Not terrible. A lot of things have restrictions like that as well.
Yeah, that doesn't.
And actually, interestingly, you could take a Praetor, a Centurion, and a Consul, because if a non-upgraded Centurion isn't a Consul, so if you desperately needed a third HQ choice, you could have one. And you can't take a Fortification or Space Marine Legion allied detachment, which means you can take Militia, you can take Solar Auxiliary, you can take Mechanicum if you wanted to. And now on to the big one.
Yeah.
Detachments using this right of war may only take a single heavy support choice as part of their force organization chart.
Yeah, that's a big thing.
Yeah,
that's a big thing. From in my opinion, especially because for a few reasons. Firstly, the way you bring terror squads, and if you want to bring Kurtz as well, heavy support is like your main anti-armor, anti-tank slot.
Yeah, unless you run assault squads jam-packed full of melter bombs, but then they've got to make it across the table.
Like in terms of fair enough. In terms of ranged anti-tank,
yes, no, absolutely, I completely agree.
The only place you can really go to.
However, something I've just thought about: a Land Raider squadron is one HQ choice.
Yeah, you can. I mean, you could get 3 Leviathans for that. You
could.
So it isn't as restrictive as you think, because you can take squadrons as it, but it can be restrictive.
Yeah. So depending on how you play, how you run your terror squads, something like a drop pudding Leviathan with a melter lance and a drill, is a good choice for your heavy support, because it's additional anti-tank dropping in potentially turn 1, depending on how you arrange your drop pods, and it's another big threat that has got to then be dealt with by the enemy. Equally, you could go with something like a Venator and just hide it for a turn until all your other stuff's on.
Big fan of the Venator.
Laser Destroyer Squadron, Vindicators,
or even a normal Vindicator Squadron.
Yeah. There are options, but it is quite restrictive, because the heavy support slot I tend to find is actually quite a congested
slot. You can get
slot.
a lot of good stuff in.
It's quite a competitive slot to go with. Yeah.
I'm kind of like in my Alpha Legion. I want to try and not use the heavy support slot unless it's going to be like a Derrideo or Leviathan.
Okay.
I don't want any tanks in my Alpha Legion.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
That's right. I'll have them in my Dark Angels.
Yeah, definitely. Quick look at the comments before we go into the actual squads. Kurtz, of course, makes fear. We'll come to that once we get to Mr. Kurtz, because he opposes leadership tests. If people take 3 HQs, Damocles Command Rhino is a very good choice to ensure your reserves come on and screw around with the opponent's ones.
Yeah.
Praetor Chaplain, 2 Praetors and a Chaplain. Makes sense. Split them out across assault squads and such.
I like that.
Contemptors with big guns as anti-tank.
Not a big fan.
I'm not sold on that.
I was going to say, I don't think. I mean, I know you have the elite slot, but I don't think I don't consider Contemptors to be particularly great anti-tank.
No, personally, I don't. I love Contemptor Dreadnoughts. I think I've got 12.
However, that being said, the Rapier batteries, I didn't realize they were elites, but
yeah, they are. Yeah,
that's a good shout. Although, again, the problem with me, especially for Night Lords, is that it doesn't feel very Night Lordsy.
No.
That's when I was considering Night Lords and I was putting together army lists. That was my big bugbear, because I was like, well, I could get a load of Rapier batteries, but I want an army that's all fast moving, all moving up, all speeding along.
Yeah. So I was thinking. So when I was writing the list that I was going, it's like, what would? Okay, so I've got a Praetor. He's not especially scary on his own, but if I put him with X, Y, and Z, suddenly he becomes that little bit more scary. When it comes to an elite choice, there's a huge Terminator squad with a Chaplain or a Librarian or something, potentially deep striking, potentially coming in a transport. Oh, that's actually kind of scary at the same time. And I don't view some Rapiers as overly scary. I mean, I know they can be really good, but I don't know.
I wouldn't say that many range anti-tank options in Night Lords. Yeah, I get what you mean. I mean, I did always kind of struggle with what I would bring in that heavy support slot.
Well, then that's the other interesting point about the limitation. Do you need to bring ranged anti-tank when you could bring an allied solar auxiliary anti-tank company?
Again, like,
bring artillery.
Again, it makes sense, but in my head, it would be like, wouldn't the Night Lords just kill them all? Like, would they ally with them, or would they just kill them all and wear their skin?
The Solar Auxilia don't have to know that they're allied with Night Lords.
This is very true. They've
requested aid from the legions,
and just
unfortunately for them, the Night Lords turned up.
Like javelins and melted land speeders as well. That would work.
Yeah.
Callum doesn't know what heavy support slot is.
No, he doesn't. Callum only really seems to know what the troops choice is. So HQ, maybe the odd elite for an apothecary or two.
Yeah,
I mean, or back.
Going back quickly to Contemptors as your anti-tank. Personally, I see Contemptors as anti-walker / infantry.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, because you have to
Contemptors should be running at things and punching them.
Yeah. And personally, I think the Cortices are better because you can run faster. So
I'm not convinced.
For everybody apart from Death Guard, Cortices are great.
So
if you're playing as a Death Guard list running the Reaper and you take Cortices, you're gifting your opponent kill points.
Yeah. Heavy support slot for Night Lords. I mean,
I would probably
Fire Raptor.
Yeah.
That's very telling, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, Fire Raptors are statistically, or rather on paper.
On paper, they should be good, but they never are.
My Fire Raptor is the worst
killed
30k model I've ever owned.
I mean, if you really, really want like a really good anti-tank, I know a lot of people hate it, but you could just take a Derodeo with the las cannons, and that's
too expensive.
Yeah, that's what I was literally about to say. That it's very expensive for what it does.
To be honest with you, I would, in my heavy support for Night Lords using that Rite of War, I probably would just bring a Leviathan in a pod.
Yeah,
because it feels Night Lordsy to me. It's getting in close and getting up, and then I think maybe you're right, Matt. Maybe just forego a bit of ranged anti-tank and just rely on.
Yeah. Here's another one for you. Jet Bike Sky Slayer Squadron.
Oh, we can take one of them.
Yeah, that's Night Lordsy. That would work. That would be cool.
6 multi-melters on jet bikes.
Yeah, do that.
I mean, that is a ridiculous amount of money.
8 points.
Yeah. But anyway, we're going off track.
Yeah.
So, elite choice.
Can you take a Lord of War? Sorry, quickly. Can you take a Lord of War in that?
It doesn't say you can't.
Just take a Shadow Sword then.
But then you can't take Kurtz.
No, that's true.
This is true.
But who want to take him anyway? He's a little bitch.
Me.
I quite like him.
I do.
I can't wait to get him so that I can just slap him.
I can't wait.
He would murder Ferris, I reckon.
There's going to be
absolutely rip him to shreds.
There's going to be so many.
I can't wait till the Lion gets a model, and then I can just beat this out of Kurtz with the Lion.
I seem to remember it didn't.
Lions won more fights than he's lost against.
Sorry, when the Lion model gets released, he is going to be in every single battle report, standing on the sideline.
Yeah.
And then in the last turn, he's going to come on and fight.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's going to have a special rule where you have to roll a dice for him each.
Support the winning side.
Yeah. What your dice roll is, he changes sides.
Yeah.
Or it's going to be at the beginning of turn 5.
We're going to have a little chart.
Yeah.
Trait elite.
No, don't get me started on charts.
At the beginning of turn 5, the player with the most current victory points can take control of the Lionel Johnson model.
Yeah.
That's what it's going to be.
Yeah.
Right. So and we digress. Terror Squad, Elite Choice.
Yes.
125 points. For 100. It's not too bad. For 125 points, you get 1 headsman and 4 executioners.
So we're looking heavy support squad sort of points here.
Yes.
110 for a heavy support.
Well, it's the price of an unupgraded tactical squad. 125 points.
Yeah. So yeah, cool.
For that, you get Space Marine stats, 4s across the board, apart from 1 wound, 2 attacks each, and they're all leadership 9, which is interesting. Yeah. So even if the headsman dies, you're still leadership 9.
That's cool.
Which is cool. War gear wise, they come with power armor, bolt pistol, chainsword, and frag and crack grenades.
Yep.
Which is cool.
Yep, that's nice.
Legion Starties Night Lords, they cause fear, which is cool.
So you don't need to pay for.
You couldn't anyway because
no. But if you any attached characters, to them, you wouldn't need to pay for.
They can infiltrate,
which is great,
which is brilliant. They have preferred enemy infantry and precision strikes, which is also very cool.
Yes.
Craig, hello, good evening. Yes, we are talking Night Lords. We've just started on Terror Squads. We've gone through the Legion rules and bits and pieces. We spent about 3/4 of an hour talking about Titanicus.
And about what you've been doing.
And what?
And what about what Craig's been up to as well?
Oh, and what Craig's been doing, yes, yes indeed. As a dedicated transport, you can choose a Dreadclaw drop pod.
That's cool.
Which is good.
So the fact that you can take them with Dreadclaws using Terror Assault is sort of a bit superfluous, but it allows you to
take other rights of war and still use drop pods as transports.
Yes, you're right. Yes, you're also right. Infiltrate stops most. Yes, no, you're right. Yeah, you can't join them if you haven't got Infiltrate.
This is very true. Yeah, it's very true.
However, you could take a whatever it's called. What's the Saboteur the better version of?
Saboteur?
Yeah, the Alpha Legion one. The Saboteur. He's a better version of a Vigilator. Or is it the other way around?
No, Vigilator is a better version of a Saboteur.
Right, okay. Yeah, so you could add a Saboteur into them, but yeah, that's using your only console if you're taking Thingamajigger. Yeah. SS Amazing Gamer. This is a game, excuse me, from Games Workshop / Forge World. Is it called 30K? Is it called Horus Heresy? I don't
Horus
really know.
Heresy.
I actually don't
Horus
know.
Heresy. Battles in the Age of Darkness.
The Horus Heresy.
It's a tabletop war game. Tabletop miniature war game, essentially. And welcome. So you can take 5 additional executioners at 15 points each, which isn't too bad. Any model in the squad can take an additional weapon. Can take one of these following options: a bolt gun for 2 points, a heavy chain blade for 5 points, which is quite interesting, a Volkite charger for 5 points, or a rotor cannon or a flamer, but that's only one model in the unit.
Yes.
10 points.
Well, they can all take Volkite.
Yes.
Yes.
I like that.
Yes.
5 points each, 125 plus 50 plus 25. So you're looking at 200 points plus another 50.
It does get
right. 250 points for 10 guys with Volkite.
125.
Just the fact that they've got preferred enemy.
75, 200, 250. How much is a drop pod?
35.
250, 285. Yeah, 285 because that number rings a bell. 285 for a squad of 10, all with Volkite coming in a drop pod.
You know what?
Yeah.
I would do that.
Yeah, that's what. Maybe not all 3, but certainly 2. I mean, it could make it 3 because then you'd have 2 coming in.
No, I would take Volkite in all 3. I really would. With that preferred enemy, Volkite is.
I was going to say you're on 3s, re-rolling 1s.
Yep.
It's
I'm a big
good.
fan of Volkite as well.
And then sprinkle some heavy chain blades around for flavour.
But that's why I think the problem with the heavy support is so not worse, but so much more prevalent in this is because you're 3 fairly, not super expensive, but 3 fairly expensive troops choices are all anti-infantry.
Yes. You're looking at very much
dedicated anti-infantry, like strength 5. You can't do anything to.
Well, you're looking at a full 20-man squad of tactical marines for the same cost as 10 Terror Squad. Yeah,
but what's going to do more damage? Because it's a Volkite charges 2 shots each.
Yeah. Yes, but they're only 15 each range.
But
yes, if you drop podding or infiltrating, that's not too much of a problem. But 6 of 1.
I mean, as May just said as well, marksman vets with combi Volkites.
Yeah,
they'd be better.
Yeah,
because they're AP2.
Potentially, yeah. The headsman can exchange their chainsword or combat blade for the following: a power weapon, or nostrum and chainglaive for 10 points, power fist for 15, or a single lightning claw for 15. I'd probably give them the chainglaive.
Yep, I'd give the chainglaive.
Just because they're cool.
Can they all take melta bombs? Yeah.
They can indeed. The headsman can also take a hand flamer or a plasma pistol by replacing his bolt pistol for either 10 or 15 points, depending on whether it's the flamer or the plasma.
I wouldn't do that.
I wouldn't either. And and the headsman can take melta bombs or artificer armor. They don't all get melta bombs.
I would give him both melta bomb and artificer armor.
Yep.
I'd also give him the chain glaive and leave him at that.
That's 310 points.
Yeah,
for the whole squad.
Is that in a drop pod?
in a drop pod.
Yeah, that's pricey for a 10-man unit in power armor.
Yeah. So I wouldn't go Volkites.
That is
expensive. It's still 250.
Yeah.
No, 260 for no Volkite for a 10-man squad. It's 26 points per model.
Yeah.
But they have got preferred enemy, which is really
preferred
good.
enemy. Yeah.
So preferred enemy infantry. So I like that. The fact that they've got a chainsword or combat blade and a bolt pistol, so they're all getting 3 attacks at least, or 4 attacks at least on the charge. Apart from the headsman, who will only get 3 attacks
if you give them a chain glaive.
Yeah. I think it's a tricky one because giving them all Volkite means that when they come in the drop pod, they can do a lot of damage to an infantry unit. But 310 points is so pricey.
Yeah,
so pricey.
Yeah. And speaking of pricey,
Ashen Circle,
fast attack choice, the Night Raptor squad. Now these are awesome, and I want loads of these. 150 points.
Do you mean they're awesome looking?
No, well, yes, but they're also awesome. 150 points for 1 Huntsmaster and 4 Night Raptors.
Are they though?
They are weapon skill 5.
Yeah.
But otherwise they're marine stats. 1 attack base, leadership 8, 2 attacks on the sergeant, on the Huntsmaster, and leadership 9 on the sergeant, on the Huntsmaster. They're all jump infantry, so a 5-man squad counts as 10 for the purposes of talent for murder. They have power armor, bolt pistol, chainsword, jump pack, frag and crack grenades, Legion Astartes, Night Lords, and the Onslaught special rule. Yeah, they are cheap, but they're expensive for 5 guys, but they're I think they're quite good. In a turn in which a model with this rule charges into combat, it's D3 attacks instead of the usual 1.
So that's 30 extra attacks
potentially.
Yeah. If you got
for a 10-man, for a 10-man squad.
For a 10-man squad, yeah.
In the case of a unit with multiple models with this rule, roll once and apply the result to each model in the unit.
Is it even just 10 attacks extra? That's phenomenal. Like that.
Yeah, so bear in mind when they charge, they're getting they've got 2 attacks anyway because they've got additional close combat weapons. Yeah. So they're potentially 5 attacks each.
The Raptors are 1 attack base.
Yeah, so 1 plus 2 close combat weapons plus potentially 3.
Yeah.
So you're looking at theoretically 25 attacks coming out of a 5-man unit.
50 out of a 10-man unit.
At weapon skill 5, counting as double the number of models for the purposes of talent for murder. So that's like 50 attacks hitting on 2s.
Yeah.
Or 3s,
Still not as good as Inducti, but yeah.
No, well, obviously.
Yeah. It would be hitting on 2s against normal Marines.
That's cool.
You're right. Sorry, I did mean 3s. I just said 2s.
No,
it would be 2.
That's good. I like that.
Oh, no, it would be. Yes, of course it would, because it'd be 3s down to 2s. Especially when you consider you can add up to 10 additional Night Raptors for 20 points each, which is well expensive. So you're looking at 350 points for 15.
Yeah, going for a full squad is pricey. I think.
However,
sorry, what were you going to say?
However, any model in the squad may exchange their chainsword for one of the following.
Yeah, this is what makes them pricey, though.
A power weapon, a single lightning claw, or a Nostraman chainglaive. So you could have, let's say you've got 1 attack base.
Would only be
with the Nostraman chainglaive, so you'd have 1 attack base. You'd have 4 attacks each.
Yeah.
15-man squad, all with Nostraman chainglaves. I mean, yes, that's like best part of probably getting on for 600 points, but that's 4 times 15. That's 60 rending weapon skill 5 attacks.
I think that's the thing. You wouldn't equip all of them with it unless you wanted to just completely annihilate a squad.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, taking like 1 per 3 or something like that, or 2 per 5, something like that.
This may be quite controversial. But I'd take 3 chainglaves.
Yes.
And 2 melter guns.
For every 5 models in the squad, you could take up to 3 melter guns.
So, because they could fulfill, like, they could charge and do really well, and then they got jump packs, so they're good at, like, if you give them melt guns, they'd be good at getting rid of armor as well.
Yeah,
which I really like.
That's true. Yeah, interestingly, they can't take melter bombs on as bulk either.
No.
So for every 5 models in the squad, one Night Raptor may exchange their bolt pistol for one of the following: flamer, melter gun, plasma pistol, or hand flamer. So they could take a chain glaive and a melter gun.
Yes.
If you wanted to spend 1 million points.
So
would you?
But then that's putting a lot of points on one model.
No. I'd presume like one per 5. You could take one with a chain glaive and one with a melter gun.
Well, no, anyone can take a chain glaive.
Yeah. I know, but you wouldn't want it. You wouldn't want a chain glaive and a melter gun on the same model.
No. But you could. You could. Alternatively, any model may exchange both their pistol and chainsword for a pair of lightning claws.
I wouldn't.
Which is also quite cool.
Well, the thing is, the chain glaive is AP3 anyway.
It is, but you get an additional attack for the lightning claws.
True, but
they're not rending.
And
but they do shred.
But they're not +1 strength either.
No, Callum, but they do shred.
Callum just said, all with lightning claws. I fancy that.
That would look cool.
However, it is 20 points.
Yes.
Per model that takes lightning claws.
If I was going to do a full 15-man squad, and I don't know if I would, but if I was going to do a full 15-man squad, I would probably do 1 per 5 with a chain glaive, and another 1 per 5 with the melter gun. So 3 melter guns, 3 chain glaives, and then depending on what I had points left to spare, maybe add a couple more in. Either.
Yeah, I'd keep them. I'd go one like a melter gun chain glaive per 5. Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a good, and then you can give melter bombs to the Hunter Master and Artificer armor in case you come up against anything, in combat. You just want a melter bomb.
Because you've got that bit of like it's not ranged anti-tank, but the fact they move 12 and then they shoot 12. So you've got a 24-inch threat bubble. You can jump behind tanks and hit them.
Actually, to be honest, with the chain glaives as well, you wouldn't have to just rely on the melter bombs against. You can pen AV13 with a chain glaive.
You can, that's true.
You can glance 14, but you can pen AV13.
Yeah.
So you're not just relying on that melter bomb either.
Yeah, that's true.
And with 4 attacks on the charge, you could get a couple of rends off.
Yeah. I mean, the 4 attacks is best case scenario, but
yeah.
So I do like Raptor squads personally.
Yeah, they sound cool.
Yep. Yeah, my opinion has been swayed.
As cool as Night Lords can sound, I mean, as you can tell, I'm not really taking part in this.
The models look awesome.
I don't like Night Lords.
Plus the models are cool.
Yeah, the Ultramarine Locutus Storm Squad.
Oh.
Yeah, Star Power Swords and Artificer armor. Yeah, they're cool, but they're Ultramarines, so I don't care. But no, you're right. They are obviously better. And Callum, yes, they do look cool, but you've got to balance whether you want more boys over more toys. The more you spend on the bits and bobs, the fewer infantry you have on the table. Think about it that way around.
Well, going by my iron hands, I am the latter. I'm toys over boys.
Yeah, definitely. Right, the first of the special characters. I've got a feeling this guy might be Welsh.
Madrim
Lansahai, probably pronounced Lansahai. Yeah, my Welsh is anything to go by, which it really isn't, and I apologise to any Welsh people watching. He is the fallen Primus Medicae of the Night Lords, the Smiling One, Bloody Bones. He is weapon skill 5, 4s in ballistic skills, strength, and toughness, 2 wounds, initiative 5, 2 attacks, leadership 9. He comes with power armor, a refract field, frag and crack grenades, an Archaeotech pistol.
That's cool.
Red Jacka, and a Narthekium.
Yaka
comes with a drink.
Yeah, it does. It sounds like an energy drink.
It does.
Special rules: independent character. He is fearless, which is interesting because not a lot of people are fearless in 30k. He obviously has the Legion Astartes Night Lords rule. He causes fear. He has the Devil's Luck, and he is unfit for command, which is an awesome special rule to have.
Yeah.
And he is only available in a traitor list. So Red Jacka is his custom-wrought scalpel. It's a long-bladed knife of unknown origin, whose edge can cut cleaner and deeper than any power blade. Although no true close combat weapon, in Lansahai's hand, it is a terrifying and deadly thing. Red Jacka has the following profile.
-1 strength.
Strength -1.
Strength.
AP3, melee, murderous strike, and specialist weapon. So, for those that don't know, murderous strike,
dagger.
it is pretty much, yeah.
It's a paragon
Murderous
dagger.
strike is instant death on a to wound roll of a 6, which is quite cool. I sort of like the idea of a little tiny needle like scalpel sort of thing, just finding a weak spot.
You know what? Murder Strike came into
somebody
play quite often at Ghoul Stars for me with Paragon Blade. It's a cool rule. I like it.
Yeah, I like it. He has a rule called the Devil's Luck, as mentioned. He is feared and distrusted even amongst his own legion. He survived both enemy action and attempts on his life by his own comrades, seemingly often by sheer chance alone. This has only enhanced the Primus Medicae's dark renown. He may re-roll failed Lookout Sir and feel no pain rolls.
That's quite useful.
Which is quite cool. And he is also unfit for command. He may never be taken as, he may not be taken as a compulsory HQ choice for the army, and may never be the warlord. Even the Night Lords have their limits of toleration for madness.
I like that.
And he's 135 points.
I don't think I don't think that's too expensive for what you get, but I just don't think he really brings much.
Feel no pain without need for a Primus Medicae or Apothecaries. Fearless.
Does he? Oh, I suppose he does confer it to his unit. Does
he's got an Arthesium?
Yeah. That makes it.
Feel no pain. I like it.
But yeah, fearless.
Fearless and feel no pain.
Pretty amazing.
How much is a normal Primus?
125 points.
More than 135, I would have said, once you've factored in gear.
125.
The only thing is, then you're using up an HQ slot.
Power armor.
Exactly.
Power armor.
That's.
I like him.
Yeah, he's all right. He's not bad. We then have the dude himself.
Sevatar!
The first person to utter the words "Death to the False Emperor."
Yep.
Sevatar. Jago Sevatarian, the Prince of Crows, first captain of the Night Lords and master of the Atramentar. See, this, I'm sort of tempted to hold off doing Terminators and stuff just in case they bring out Atramentar models when they do the next book.
Which would be very cool.
Be wicked,
they're apparently, they're supposed to be putting some new models in the next book, hopefully.
Yeah, so the Atramentar are essentially the first company of the Night Lords. They're all big, scary Terminator dudes who are basically completely loyal to Sevatar. And there was a story, one of the stories, I can't remember which one it is, but somebody takes over the first company and the Atramentar refuse to follow him.
Yes.
Because he's not Sevatar.
Yeah.
They basically just tell him to do one. So he
is a bit nasty. We'll wait.
Yes, you're absolutely right, mate. That's where I was referring to. If you take Terror Assault, Flaymaster Mordrim doesn't count as your Centurion, so you can chuck him in with a squad, give him Feel No Pain, and then you could potentially take another Primus Medicae and put him somewhere else.
Yes.
If you wanted to. So, Sevatar, 175 points, which I think is reasonable given what he does.
Sorry.
Weapon skill 7.
Yep.
Ballistic skill 5. Strength toughness 4. 3 wounds. Initiative 6. 4 attacks. Leadership 9. Which I think is pretty good.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Out of water.
Sounded really sad.
Wargear wise, he has power armor, which isn't great.
No.
An iron halo, frag and crack grenades, a mastercrafted Nostrum chain glaive, a bolt pistol. Interestingly, Master of the Atramentar is down as wargear for him. And he also has trophies of judgment, so he causes fear.
Yay.
So that's 5 points off his points total already. Special rules, Legion Status Dark Angels, obviously. Master of the Legion, so you can take Rights of War if you run him as your HQ. Dirty Fighter, Repressed Psyker, and Precision Strike. His Warlord trait, and he can only be taken as a part of a traitor army if the whole the False Emperor thing wasn't enough of a giveaway.
Yeah.
He can take, his Warlord trait is Master of Ambush. He automatically has that, which means all friendly outflanking units have acute senses while he's alive. Which is pretty cool.
Yep.
Useful for if you're running javelins, maybe, something like that.
Yeah.
So Master of the Atramentar is one of his rules. Night Lord's Legion Terminator squads and Terminator Command squads from the same detachment as Sevatar who deep strike will not scatter as long as they are placed within 6 inches of Sevatar as they deploy. So he's basically got a Nuncio Vox for Terminators.
Yes.
That's cool.
Which is cool. I like that.
Considering his units are Terminators, that makes sense.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. He has the Dirty Fighter rule. Sevatar is one of the most dangerous hand-to-hand combatants in his or any other legion. He gains the instant death special rule for his attacks, in addition to any from his weapons, when fighting in a challenge.
So that's all his attacks?
That is all his attacks. So he is Strength 5, AP 3 Rending, instant death in a challenge.
With Mastercrafted.
With Mastercrafted at weapon skill 7.
Yep.
That's good. That's really
pretty awesome.
With, obviously, the...
Talent for murder. So you're hitting on 2s, wounding on 2s.
Hitting on 2s, wounding on 2s.
Rending, instant death.
Yeah.
So you charge him into a squad of Castellax or anything like that. He's going to beat.
No, because you can't challenge a Castellax.
Yeah, it's only in challenges. That's the thing.
Or Custodes.
Custodes, absolutely.
Yep.
Although Custodes would be bad because he's only AP3 natively.
Yeah, you'd need the Rending.
Yeah.
But still,
charge him into a squad of what is the initiative 6? Charge him into a squad of. What are the shield guys? The Ultramarine shield guys with the Legatine axes.
Suzerain.
Suzerain. Probably murder most of them. Because I don't think unless they've got Artificer armor.
They do have Artificer armor.
Okay, forget that then. Of course they do. They're Ultramarines. And he has the Repressed Psycho rule. He's a level 1 Psycho with precognition psychic power from Divination, which also means he gets the Divination. What's the word I'm looking for? What's the first spell you get in a
Prescience?
Psychic? No, what's it called? What's the...
Oh, the Primaris? No.
We don't use Psychers.
Psychic Focus.
Yeah. I know which one. You get the...
What's the bloody word?
What it's called. I know what you mean, though. You get
he gets Precognition, and he also gets Prescience, because Prescience is the...
Oh my god!
Primaris power. Thank you, Cal.
Primaris.
The Primaris power from the Divination discipline. So if all of your spells, if all your psychic powers come from the same discipline, you get the Primaris power plus the ones you've rolled. So obviously he's got Precognition, so he also gets Prescience. Yes. Thank you very much, Callum. That was, I don't know why we failed so much at that.
Yeah, that was quite bad.
However, it shows you how many times we use Psychers.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. Well, I've got bloody word bearers army. I use Psychers.
You should, yeah.
However, he has long repressed such abilities, which are more often in use subconsciously rather than by direct will. You may not use more than 2 warp charges from your pool in order to use his repressed Psycho ability, and a modified leadership value of 7 is used should he become subject to perils of the warp.
So he's not an amazing Psycho.
No,
it's just a nice little buff to have.
It's like Callus Typhon, isn't it?
Yeah.
He has he's a Psycho, but it's not a great Psycho.
Indeed. So for 175 points, I would take Sevatar.
I mean, he's got such a cool model as well. I think just take him for the rule of cool, if nothing else.
Yeah, you could run him a Terror Assault with a 9-man Terror Squad in a drop pod.
Yep. I mean, I think he's good. I don't think he's one of the best first captains.
If you can get him in a challenge, he should murder just about everybody.
Sigismund? I think Sigismund would beat him, because obviously Eternal Warrior with Sigismund.
Yeah,
I think Sigismund would beat him. I'm trying. He's one of the big, like, when you go onto Heresy forums and stuff, and people are always asking about like who the best fighter is from the Heresy. He's definitely in like up there with sort of the Sigismunds, the Corswains.
If he had Eternal Warrior, I reckon he'd beat Sigismund.
Yeah.
However, Sigismund's in Artificer armor with an Iron Halo.
Yeah.
Whereas he's only in Power armor with an Iron Halo. But you could get Precognition off.
Yeah, exactly.
Which gives you rerolls. So you know.
So Sevatar suffers with the same problem that Pollux suffers with. So the fact that he's not in Power, he's not in Artificer armor.
Yes.
No, Pollux doesn't suffer from that at all because he's got a Storm Shield.
That's true.
He's always got a 3+ save. It doesn't matter.
So just quickly, May, we're only doing the units in the Red Book. We're not going on to the other books yet.
Yeah, we'll probably cover them off at some point, but we're just focusing on the reds at the moment.
Yeah.
So yeah, Sevatar in a
I like
9-man
him.
terror assault squad in a drop pod, deep stroke and load of Terminators.
Yeah, I think he's got potential.
You heard
And
me say
I
that.
said I love the model, so
I like a Night Lord's character. There we go.
What about this one?
Finally, we have him. We have the man himself.
I don't even want to turn the page.
That's fine. I've got the page.
Yeah, I was going to say I've got it in front of me as well. So it's all good.
We have.
Oh no! I spilled my paint everywhere.
Oh, what a terrible shame. We have the Batman of 30k, Night Haunter, Conrad Kurtz himself, Primarch of the Night Lords, the Night Haunter, the Last Judge, and the King of Terrors. 435 points. So he's
the cheapest, though.
Sort of middle ground. No, Lorgar's the cheapest.
Lorgar's cheap.
Sort of middle ground for Primarch points. I would have said towards the lower end. The lower end definitely.
Yeah.
But he's not. He's sort of average. So he's weapon skill 8. Ballistic skill, strength, toughness, and wounds 6. Initiative 7. 5 attacks. Leadership 10 with a 2-up save. Which is fine.
Decent stats. Yep.
Interestingly, he's a jump infantry model.
Yes.
But he doesn't have a jump pack.
No, he just moves
He's just
really
really
fast.
good at jumping.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's got his utility belt on.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he's got his utility belt. War gear wise, he has the Nightmare Mantle, Mercy and Forgiveness, which are the best names in the entirety of 30k.
Yes.
The Widowmakers, and he has frag grenades, but no crack grenades. Interestingly,
So I think the frag grenades is just so.
So we
can
charge through cover and stuff.
Yeah.
And funnily enough, he can only be taken in a traitor faction army as well.
Really? Who'd have thought?
Yeah, I know, right? Special rule wise, he has the Primarch special rule. We've covered this a couple of times, but it includes independent character, Master of the Legion, Eternal Warrior, Fear, Adamantium Will, Fleet, Fearless, It Will Not Die, Precision Strikes, and Precision Shots. And strikes and shots are things that everybody always forgets. I certainly do.
Yeah, I always forget those.
And the fact that he calls fear.
Yeah.
He causes super fear.
But to be honest, if you forget that a Night Haunter causes fear, you're not playing Night Lords properly.
Yeah.
He has the Sire of the Night Lords special rule, King of Terrors, Shrouded, Stealth, and he is bulky, as are most of the Primarchs.
Yes.
To be honest, he should.
Pete, you can put him with the squad. You just can't infiltrate if they're together. I think he can still join the unit. They just obviously then can't infiltrate. But feel free to correct me if that is.
I think this is one of those rules that's contested because there's.
Have you got a copy of the rule book on you? Well,
no, but it's not answered. It's not answered in the rule book. I don't think clearly because
infiltrate.
You can't join a unit that has infiltrate, but I don't think it's clear. It's whether you can't join them at all, or you just can't join them when they're actually infiltrating.
Okay.
If they're in a drop pod, obviously they're not infiltrating.
Yeah, so in theory you should be able to join them.
Yeah.
Right. So while Callum and James are looking that up for us, the Sire of the Night Lords special rule: a dark and haunted figure obsessed by death and judgments, and unshakable in his belief in the fundamental fallibility of man and the agency of fear as the only true means of controlling humanity's failings.
How many F's did they want to put in there?
I've forgot it here now. The first sentence is, you may choose to deploy units that contain at least one model with this special rule last.
You may choose to.
Yeah, so one model with this special rule. That's units that contain one model.
That's interesting. So you could put a Vigilator. It says that independent characters can't join a unit that is infiltrating. Okay, yeah, that's fine. So you could put him in a drop pod. Yeah, that's fine.
So technically, when he joins...
I think maybe the old 7th edition 40k rulebook wasn't quite clear on it. Unless that's
so they cleared that up here. So if one model in the unit has infiltrate, then the whole unit has infiltrate.
But you can't join it. But an independent character can't join a unit that's infiltrating.
Yeah.
Okay, so put me in a drop pod. Fine.
Oh, it says here, if a unit with infiltrate deploys inside a dedicated transport, the same rules apply when setting up their transport.
Yeah, so you could infiltrate a Land Raider if you've got a unit that can infiltrate a Land Raider.
That's cool.
Or outflank it, or what have you. Where do we get to? Conrad Kurtz and his legion were shaped by the terror and darkness of Nostramo. just as much as they were by the gene craft of the Emperor. Comrade Kurtz has night vision and acute senses, and a force containing him as the warlord may always elect to have the first turn of any game use the night fighting rule. A night fighting with Comrade Kurtz as its warlord gains the fear special rule for all of its units with Night Lord special rule, so you don't need to pay for trophies.
I've just found it. Callum's just written it and I've just found it. It's on the independent character bit. An independent character without infiltrate special rule cannot join a unit of infiltrators during deployment and vice versa.
So they can't.
No, hang on a second.
Cannot join a unit of infiltrators. It doesn't specify whether they're infiltrating or not.
Well, I would have said they're only infiltrators if they're infiltrating. If they're in a drop pod, they're not infiltrating.
Does them just having the infiltrate special rule make them infiltrators?
Well, yeah, exactly. I don't know.
That's what needs to be cleared up.
And equally, don't you put a unit in a drop pod before deployment?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do that before the deployment phase. But anyway,
that's a question for
talk to your opponents.
Yeah.
Check with your opponents if they're happy with it. Depends on your gaming.
Don't say Westbarks Gaming said.
Say I said. There you go.
James said.
I'm a big guy. I can take it.
Right, yes. So Comrade Kurtz as a warlord. Everyone with Night Lord special rule gains fear. If they already have fear, they get -1 penalty on the leadership value of enemy units when testing for it. So you could buy Trophies of Judgment and give your independent characters fear at -1 leadership, or you can not buy them Trophies of Judgment and just let everybody cause fear, which is quite cool.
Yeah, it has a bit of a.
Yeah, I think so.
Place.
Right, sorry, I need to check this. Infiltrators means they would need to be infiltrating. That's how I would read it. This to me means you can't deploy with them. However, deploying him within 2 inches after deployment, they join automatically. And yeah, you can put them in a pod. Yeah, that's fine. Otherwise, you would say you can't not join you with infiltrate. Yeah, I agree. That's what I would say. So if they're not infiltrating, then it's fine.
I would agree. I've seen lots of people that didn't read it that way.
Yeah.
So I was just playing devil's advocate.
Yeah,
I would agree with you. I would let people do that.
Yeah, to be honest, that's what these conversations are for, is to talk about stuff like this and teach people where we go wrong generally with stuff like that. Ambiguous rules are a right pain in the arse.
Teach people the law.
Yeah,
I am the
exactly.
law.
It's all about judgment. I'm the last judge.
You're not Kurt.
Kurt says it's fine to do that. He's the last judge. His other rule, the King of Terrors. Such is Kurtz's aura of preternatural malice and sinister intent. Fear tests taken against him are subject to a -3 leadership penalty. In addition, should he be part of an assault where an enemy unit is destroyed outright, all other enemy units subject to fear within 12 inches and within line of sight of the combat must take an immediate morale check or fall back.
It's quite cool.
Which is quite cool. Interestingly, that's a morale check, not a fear test. So it's not subject to the -3.
No.
That's cool.
Which is a bit of a shame, because that could be hilarious.
The -3 leadership penalty is quite significant, though, because that takes you from 9 to a 6.
Yes, absolutely.
Most of the time, assuming your sergeants are still alive, which means that you go from a 9 to being the average. You would fail it.
Yeah, definitely. The Nightmare Mantle. Kurtz's raiment of war was a customized artificer suit, bedecked in grisly trophies of judgment and the flayed skins of those whose sins he saw as particularly egregious or noteworthy. I love that they're just hideous skins and things. It provides a 2+ armor save and a 4+ invulnerable save, grants hit and run and Hammer of Wrath whenever he charges, inflicting D3 Hammer of Wrath attacks instead of 1. Which is potentially quite cool. So it's D6 Hammer of Wrath hits at strength 6, which is, it's all right.
That's not bad.
And then we have Mercy and Forgiveness. It's a murderous pair of Artificer Lightning Claws, unknown in origin, which Kurtz favoured as his personal weapons, were given the doleful names Mercy and Forgiveness by the Night Lords, though what their wielder named them, if anything, remains, as with so much about their master, unknown. So they obviously did that deliberately because it's massively ironic. So these are Strength User, so Strength 6. They're AP 2, which is very nice. Melee, Shred, Specialist Weapon, Murderous Strike, and Paired, so +1 attack. So he's got 6 attacks with the 6 attacks, Strength 6, AP 2, and Murderous Strike, so instant death on 6s. Quite cool.
Yeah.
And then he has the Widowmakers, which are his batarangs, based on micro-serrated throwing blades utilized for signature kills by certain Nostrum and assassin cults. Kurtz favored the use of these vicious yet highly precise weapons over more conventional firearms in battle, using them to disable and maim as he willed. Which is quite cool. Widowmaker volley 12 inches, strength 4, AP 5, assault 3, but with the lethal precision rule. This is ridiculous.
A little bit.
Precision strikes. So when wielded by Kurtz, they inflict precision strikes on a 4+, so you can pick your characters or your Vexillas or special weapons or whatever on a 4+, and on a to wound roll of a 6, they ignore both armor save and invulnerable save,
which is pretty huge.
It's pretty awesome.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean it won't happen all that much.
No, but you got 3 shots
hitting on 2s, re-rolling 1s for looking for 6s.
Yeah.
It's
not
pretty
too bad.
good. It's pretty good. I like him. I think he's definitely got potential.
My only concern with Conrad is that if he gets charged by a Contemptor Dreadnought,
he can't hurt him.
Stuck the entire game.
Yeah.
I wish his claws had rending or just something.
But then you don't put him on his own.
No, that's the thing. But it's just, I think one of the points about the Night Lords that they potentially struggle with is armor.
Yeah,
that's one of their.
Yeah, agreed. But put him in a 20-man assault squad.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there are plenty of ways to counter it. I feel like any Primarch should be able to dismantle a Contemptor Dreadnought, like from the fluff.
Yeah.
I feel like, I mean, like what Angron took a plasma blaster from a Titan to the face and got
that was Lorgar.
Angron
caught.
Angron held up a Titan. Yeah, literally held up a Titan.
Well, if you think about it, Mortarion can't hurt armor 14.
Yeah, which, I mean, I don't know. It seems a bit strange that.
And I'm just sitting here, Ferrus Manus, like, yeah.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I think him being I think him attacking at strength 6 is fine, but I just wish that, I don't know, rending or something, so that Primarchs could potentially get through armor.
Or give him melter bombs.
Yeah.
Like, you think all the Primarchs would carry melter bombs, wouldn't you?
Or have something like the old Smash attack where they can replace, just to show, like, them getting all of their strength and just doing one big attack to try and get through this armur. Just so they're not.
Curse is a little weed. He's like, eh.
Yeah, but he's still a Primarch though. Like they're meant to be. There's a I can't remember what book it is, but there's one book where Gilliman takes a power fist punch to the face, and they literally say like it was a shot that would have like smashed the Terminator's helmet in, and he just gets like a bit of a bruise. Like They should be able to take on.
Because his favourite game growing up was Peekaboo.
Hide and seek. No, sorry, that was Korax, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, Callum. I've had plenty of times Mortarion, Lorgar, just useless when it comes to taking out armor. And as you say, they're higher strength.
So if I charged Kurz with a Contemptor, can I refuse to attack with the Contemptor?
No.
That sucks.
Why would you want to?
Just to be like, yeah, you stay there.
Oh right, okay.
Just to not kill him, just to keep him there.
Yeah, no, I don't believe you can, unfortunately.
Even if they gave him a hit and run or something.
Well, he's got it on the tip, but as was pointed out, the wording in the rules is that it's only on the turn he charges, and that is
hit and run and Hammer of Wrath special rules whenever he charges. Yeah.
So if he charges, then there's a chance that you're not going to be able to get away.
Well, no, as May points out, why would you want to charge? Why would you want to
get away on your turn?
Yeah,
on the enemy's turn.
Interestingly, I know why you might want to. Well, no, even that doesn't make sense because it then just gets shot up. I was going to say if you charge with a squad of Assault Marines,
and then he leaves,
and he then hits and runs away, but then he's on his own.
Maybe it's in case you accidentally declare a charge against a Contemptor and realize you can't hurt it, and you just need to run away.
Yeah, maybe.
I feel like maybe there's meant to be a full stop in there somewhere, and the.
I think there should be a comma after hit and run.
Yeah. But rules as written.
Yeah.
But,
oh well.
Yeah, so that's Night Lords. I think they've got potential. I think it requires a very specific play style.
I think you have to be careful with them.
I think you do, but I also think you have to be very aggressive.
Yeah, you have to be aggressive, but and pick your fights and basically bully.
Absolutely.
Finesse, good.
Finesse, yes, that's good word.
That's the word that we didn't think of that I'm gonna say we did think of.
I'm gonna write that down so we remember it for next time.
Finesse.
Do you know what I've just realised?
What's that? Yeah, you're up next, mate.
What the next Legion is.
Yeah, you're up next.
We're doing it. Okay, yeah, no, fair enough.
What?
We're doing it Legion by the book, aren't we?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, and numerically.
But only released Legions.
Only Red Book Legions.
Yeah.
Yes. Blood Angel's not out yet.
No, I just suddenly thought like, wait, Dark Angel's a Legion 1. Where did my Dark Angel? But they don't really have any.
No, indeed. Yes, we can all bash Gorgons, Magician Immortals, and laugh about how Ferrus would forget his head if it wasn't screwed on.
I am preparing myself for, and not only that, we've got the great. I think personally one of the greatest characters in the game.
But we're not going to talk about him now because that's going to happen in a couple of weeks.
And it's also 10 past 11.
And it's 10 past 11. So in conclusion, Night Lords, very good anti-infantry.
Yeah,
a little bit lacking probably anti-tank, but there are ways around it. Javelins, jet bikes, lightning strike fighters.
It's a mountable problem. I think it's definitely, if they have an Achilles heel, the anti-armor is something not a weakness, but something you have to be aware of when you're building your list.
I mean, yes, you've got like you can pod in Leviathan, you can pod in some Contemptors with
also they have the coolest looking Contemptor, so that's
I quite like the Raven Guard one.
I looked
the Raven Guard one, and I really like the Alpha Legion one.
The Alpha Legion one's too ostentatious.
I don't really like the Raven Guard one. I don't know why you do.
Well, I'm going to put some missing posters up soon, actually, for the Iron Hands Contemptor.
That has not been around for years. That has not
been seen. I started Iron Hands 3 years ago,
and
it was sold out then. So it's been missing for a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, the Night Lords one is just...
Are we talking Contemptors, Callum? I really like the Death Guard Contemptor as well.
You know what?
I like all of the Contemptors, apart from the one with the bunny ears.
Oh, what, the
Thousand Suns one? Yeah.
To be honest, a lot of people use the Death Guard Contemptor to make other
Cortuses. Yeah, as well. Because it looks... I think, it would make a good Cortus.
Yes, Callum, I know you have an Iron Hands Contemptor because you bought them dirt cheap off a friend when he sold out. He got Gorgons, he got Immortals, and he got an Iron Hands Contemptor for like 50 quid. So I am still a bit salty over that.
Yeah. So. Yes, Shattered Legions for Night Lords does work quite well because you also ignore the Seeds of Descent rule, I think. So if your Warlord dies, you don't have to take the morale test. There's a couple of things that work quite well for Shattered Legions in that respect. We'll come to Shattered Legions at the end, I think. Yeah. We'll do that as a sort of a final, or we'll go over the Legion specific rights of war that aren't in that red book, so the extra ones, and we'll talk about things like Shattered Legions as well.
I suppose we could mention like Blood Angels and stuff, but then we could wait until the book drops.
I was just going to say, Matt, I find it funny that you don't like the Contemptor with the bunny ears when all of your Raptors have bunny ears.
That's assuming I give them bunny ear helmets instead of using the 15 Terror Squad helmets that I just bought the other day.
The Terror Squad helmets are awesome.
Yeah.
I am literally sitting here hovering over the Javelin and some...
Don't do it. Don't do it. You'll get told off.
You will get told off. Yeah, this is true.
Well, if I can sell my Scorpius and my Land Raider Proteus, then I will be buying some Javelins.
Yeah, that's fair enough. But don't do it until then, because you will get told off, and then you'll be unhappy.
So, yeah.
But anyway, it is 1:15.
Yes,
I'm gonna do 5 minutes of if anybody's got any questions. So we'll go up until 6 minutes actually. We'll go up until 20 past. If anyone's got any questions, comments, or anything that they want us to talk about, we're going to have a bit of a closing speech for 5 to 6 minutes, and then we'll answer any questions during that time as well. So thank you very much, everybody, for watching and joining us in the chats. Dante, obviously, Callum, May, everybody else that's been there.
You know what? It's been double figures the entire night.
It has.
Yeah, Peter, thank you very much as well. And scrolling all the way back up to the top. Cake, of course. We've got Cake. We've got Rich.
Yeah.
We had, who do we have to begin with? Martin was here for a bit. He's obviously disappeared now. But everybody else that's been with us and lurking in the background and listening to us try to sound intelligent for a couple of hours.
Callum's got 6 laptops on.
Thanks.
Yeah, thanks, Callum. We very much appreciate it. That would be awesome.
There is a question I would like to ask everyone.
Okay.
I know we've been talking about it for a while, like the whole podcast thing. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Do you want us to release this as a podcast? Do you want us to just literally clip the audio from this and load it up as a podcast?
Mm-hmm.
Let us know in the comments. Let us know.
Yeah, because it wouldn't be too difficult to do.
It shouldn't be too difficult.
It would be.
No.
And
it means we have to have a bit more structure. But
yeah, and we'd also have to, when it comes to podcasts, we'd also have to make sure that we reference the comment before we answer a question or something.
And we'd also have to think about things like model of the week.
Oh, you can talk about it. You just say
you can talk. Yeah, we'd have to not just show a picture, but we'd have to actually kind of talk about what it is.
Indeed.
So if you guys are interested in that, let us know. I mean, I love podcasts personally.
Yeah.
Callum and that are due to release a new episode soon. I think this week, next week, whenever Callum finished editing. So
I saw a thing from Jodie on Instagram. There seems to be some kind of paint challenge going on at the Unremembered Heresy.
Oh, they're doing like a
Clubhouse
challenge, aren't they?
Yeah, which seems pretty cool. Which would be awesome. So, expand your audience. Do it. Should have been last week, but corrupted files. Remarkably, just clip the audio. Okay, yeah. So we'll do it. Anybody that's watching this after it's been live, if you make it to this point, thank you very much. We appreciate it. And if you've got any thoughts on the podcast idea, drop something in the comments down below.
Yeah, definitely.
And we'll definitely take that into consideration.
Yeah, exactly. It also, I mean, it may not make much of a difference, but in terms of having guest people on as well at any point, it may be easier if people don't have, webcam situation or whatever. We can just do a podcast. Yeah, exactly.
Some people might not be comfortable being on.
Exactly, yeah. So
I know it took me a lot of time to get used to it.
It may open up a few more opportunities for that as well.
I love being on camera. Like,
I hate
this face was built
for radio. But anyway, yes. Thank you very much, folks. We're coming to the end of that little 5 or 6 minutes now. So yes, Callum, great minds think alike. Thanks, mate. We very much appreciate it. We hope that was useful to you in some way, even if it's just a case of listening to us go through the units and give our in no way professional or experienced comments about. Okay.
I mean, I apologize. I don't know a lot about Night Lords because I've not even looked at their rules because generally listening to the stories, I just don't like them. And
yeah, that's fair enough.
At all, so I haven't really looked at much. But the next Legion, next time, I know everything about.
We're going straight on to Ultramarines next, aren't we?
Yeah, straight on to Ultramarines.
Is it the 12th next?
Yes.
We're going on to the best Legion next.
What, Death Guard? They're not for another sort of 4 or 5.
I'm going to join the Legion. I'm going to cut my leg off and get a prosthetic.
Please do. I will give you £5 English if you do that.
A whole £5.
A whole £5.
Worth it.
So,
if they don't have webcam, no, that's absolutely right. Webcams aren't expensive, but some people just don't like being on camera.
Yeah, it's not about having. Yeah.
So if anyone does want to join us, in fact, once we get to some of the specific legions where we know people, Callum, for example, plays word bearers a lot. So once we get to the word bearers point of view, we might ask Callum to join us and talk us through some word bearers. Jody, maybe we'll take him on for Raven Guard.
Who's after the? Oh, we've got World Eaters next. I don't know any World Eaters players.
No, neither do I. But that's fine. But if we know people that are big into the background and the conversions and the painting and just the general, I absolutely love this army and this is what I play and they're fantastic, then there's no reason why we can't get those sort of people on to talk about some of them.
Exactly.
Even if you really want to come and talk to us and sit and chat when we do our, because what we're doing is doing an episode, then we're doing a Legion episode, Legion episode. So no doubt there'll be a bit more Adeptus Titanicus talk next week.
Easy for you to say.
Adeptus Titanicus.
Adeptus Titanicus.
Yes, absolutely.
Adeptus Titanicus.
So yes, thank you everybody. We're coming to the end now. I'm going to just say next week I may or may not be available, because next weekend is when I'm moving. So
that's cool.
It might be a little bit stressful for me next week.
I might just stick a post up on the group and just ask, does anyone want to join us tomorrow next week?
Yeah.
I'll be about as far as I know.
Yeah, that's fine. So it should be fine, but it depends on how much progress I make over the course of the weekend. And the weekend after that, the week after that, which will be the 6th. I probably won't be around for that one because I have to be back here on the Thursday, back in Reading on the Thursday. But we'll see. We'll see.
You know what, Callum, if Matt's not around for the Iron Hands one, I might send Callum a message.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Sounds good.
Callum plays Iron Hands, so
we shall see. I'll try and be around, obviously, but I may not be. Quick answer to your question: are we going to the Forge World Specialist Games?
I really want to, but I can't afford it.
I am not.
Yeah,
I really want to go, but I'm so close to having a deposit for a house.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Are tickets even still available for it? I think they probably all sold out, aren't they?
Yeah, already. Yeah,
they really are. Might be out of the country next week and after that, so I might be able to watch. No problem at all. That's the beauty of YouTube. You can watch it whenever you fancy it. And Callum needs to make sure he can free himself up. Excellent. So thank you, everybody. If you want to get on board for some of these videos, drop us a comment, put us a message on the Facebook group, which is now in our About page and linked on the...
I mean, we've got, what, 205
top of the main page now?
Yeah.
So, hit us up on Instagram, Twitter, whatever, and we'll get back to you. Fancy a game, let us know similarly.
I fancy a game.
I've been a few times, May, in the past, but timing didn't really work out for me this time, unfortunately. I didn't get around to buying a ticket properly in time. Thank you, everybody, very, very much for that. We very much enjoyed it this evening. Hopefully you did as well.
It was very good.
And we will hopefully...
12 people watching at the end of the episode. I know,
at 20 past 11.
Yeah.
Crazy. Go to bed. What are you doing?
Callum, you can now turn off all of your laptops.
Yes, thank you.
We appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thanks, folks. Really good fun. And hopefully we'll catch you in the next one.
Goodbye from me.
See you later.
Goodbye from him. See you later.
See you later, guys.
Bye.